Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name That Umbrella Guy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
Rolling up, I'm feeling fly, yeah, I'm so damn fresh. Got that platinum grill, blinging in the chest. Diamonds in my mouth, shining when I speak. That umbrella guy, flossing speaking geek. Ice on my teeth, I'm dripping so hard. Platinum grills, I'm the king of the boulevard. Throwing money in the club, making haters mad. I'm the baddest in the game, no one gets a pass. Ooh yeah. Crushing all these lines, yeah, I feel fly. Rolling on the dubs, that umbrella guy. Iced out flow on the boulevard. You ain't a comic gangster, don't be playing hard. Ice on my teeth, I'm flying so high. Dropping the bass, that umbrella guy. One grill to rule them all, one grill to bind them. Baby, I'm so iced out, gonna blind them. Rolling in town, I'm an army of one. Doing verbal walk-bys, blazing like the sun. Riding in my whip, crushing false accusers. Dropping off the bass on the real abusers. Yeah. Living life fast, no time for the slow. Justice on my mind, stacking up on that flow. Life in the fast lane, no time to blink. Ice on my teeth, watch it when I speak. Chillin' on my rhymes, never missing a beat. Ice on my teeth, yeah, I'm living that sweet. That umbrella guy, bringing the platinum heat. Crushing every hater, no time for defeat. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, indeed. Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to what is today? Wednesday. I forgot what day it was.
It's a weird week. Whenever there's a holiday, I get so thrown off. My kid has gym days on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, uniform days on Tuesday, Thursday. And of course, he didn't have school on Monday, so I sent him to school on uniform day in his gym clothes. Because, yeah, I can't keep up with this.
That's hilarious, man. Well, holidays always throw me off anyway. But, really, your weeks are pretty much the same. Unless it's Friday and you're rolling into the weekend and don't have to get up for certain things, the rest of the week, the activities may change, but a lot of the week is the same. Unless, of course, you keep up with chaos that happens online, and well,
then the bombs just keep dropping and nothing's the same.
One of the Johnny videos.
Oh, you gonna tell me something real fast? Okay.
Yeah, the
Johnny
video has a fake clone.
Okay, well, hey.
And the real Johnny got called Will because that was for the fake Johnny, and he's so rude.
That's crazy. All right, well, hey, go upstairs. Hey, you got to get back in bed. She was like, Dad, I'm not gonna come down today. I was like, okay. I tucked her in and everything, got her situated. She's like, I was like, okay, I'll be covering stuff. She was like, I'm not going to, no way. I was like, okay, and then bam, right after the intro.
Of course. Her little Care Bears, though, that she's got. Okay, so I've been telling everybody the 80s are so back.
Oh,
and I am bringing back leg warmers all by myself. By the way, I showed them off on my stream today. If you know it's good for you, start wearing leg warmers again right now. They will be back roaring in fashion. You can get ahead of it because I'm telling you, they're coming back. But Tug sent me this picture of his little one with her Care Bears because I was like, I love Care Bears. I want to see a picture. They're exactly the same. So like Care Bears are back. Like they're back.
G.I. Joes too. Like G.I. Joe, and you talk about money, man. So they've G.I. Joes, they used to have the little figures, and they sold the larger ones, like the 6-inch figures way back in the day. Well, now Hasbro is remarketing them, re-releasing them all, and they're awesome looking. But the price tags on some of these toys, my God.
They know who's in their top earning years right now. They know who they're marketing to. They're marketing to your kids. They are marketing to you. They are marketing to me.
Yeah, they're not for kids.
I know darn well if they put some Care Bears on the shelf, we're going to be like, oh, I got to have one of those again. I'll give it to my kid, but it's really for us. Yeah. Which is the same thing with like the Lego throwbacks, right? Now they're coming out with like all these the mini Star Wars ships, they're coming out with these mini ones, which of course is calling to all the Gen Xers. Like they're all the Return of the Jedi fans are all just going nuts over them. This is all for us. None of this is for the kids. You're seeing throwbacks to Simon Says. If you go to the store right now, you're going to find in the game aisle, the Hasbro aisle. It is all our games. Simon Says, like the old school Monopoly, like all of it.
Light Brights, everything.
Light Brights, it's all back. And I'm so happy. Oh my God, I couldn't be happier.
I can't believe like some of the stuff. I'm waiting for like Teddy Ruxpin to come back. My kids were digging through some boxes and found a big grubby. You remember Teddy Ruxpin's buddy, the giant grub?
How about my buddy?
Buddy. Until Child's Play ruined that for everybody.
My sister. My sister.
Yeah, it's Kid's sister.
Kid's sister. Yeah. That's right, Kid's sister.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you know what needs to come back? Toys R Us.
I would love to have a physical store just to walk around and enjoy again. I miss those. I do. I miss physical locations like that.
I do too. Do you remember? I feel like I can see the Toys R Us commercial in my head, but there was a song with the big giraffe. Do you remember the song? Where a kid can be a kid.
Oh yeah. Where a kid can be a kid. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember like I have flashbacks to commercials. Like when it ages you too. I'm like, I remember when Atari died, and they were trying to market the old 2600s. The theme song comes in my head every now and then. They're like, it's the 2600 from Atari. I was like, oh my God, man. So
I don't want to grow up because I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. More games, more toys, more something.
Oh, you're on the back end of it. It was from bikes and trains to video games. Yeah. Biggest toy store there is.
It is. Yeah, I don't want.
Well, it depends on which part you dropped into. Like yours was a commercial too. You could just tell like what time frame they're from. John said, kids, right? She's like a little strawberry shortcake. There you go. There's another one too. Strawberry shortcake.
Oh my gosh, dolls that smell like strawberries and lemons, like lemon cake and blueberries. Like, come on, those were so good.
Okay, the comparison though. Okay, so a toy that would cost like $20 when I was a kid. They remade G.I. Joe. If people know that, if they don't, it's fine. But they remade this little tank that the Cobras had. It was like $20 when I was a kid. Now, granted, they made a deluxe model, one of the best toys I've ever seen. But it also came with a $400 price tag.
Ooh,
I was like,
boy.
yeah, it's like, man, ugh. So
Squid says, don't bring back those smelly markers. I freaking love those. The grape one, especially the one that smells like the purple one that smells like grapes. Oh, bring it all day long.
John said, I thought Teddy Ruxpin was kind of creepy. And my buddy thing was like, I'll be your friend till the end. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. I don't know though. My kids, she's back on Care Bears. I didn't realize Care Bears were becoming big again. And it's funny, like you were saying, I can go on eBay and original Care, like a lot of toys, originals are crazy, but Care Bears, they're the same thing, you know?
Yeah, they're exactly the same. You sent me that picture, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they haven't changed at
Yeah.
all." You know, it's
Got the
true.
Care.
Who just said that? The scents probably cause cancer. Sunshine. That's
Yeah, they
probably
probably have
true.
asbestos in them or something. You're like, oh Lord.
No wonder we all have autoimmune disorders.
Yeah, when people really do end up with
Sniffing
blue
those
hair, you're like, oh, you
markers.
dyed your hair blue? It's like, no,
No,
I didn't dye my hair. Man, Shara, by the way, you know, so I got looking, and
Look at
boy,
Jeremy.
they have
Says
got
he's so. What is going on with StreamYard? What the heck did I just do? Are you seeing
what,
blinking?
blink. Yeah, what is up
I
with
hit
that?
something and it won't
What
stop.
have you done?
I don't know. I just went to click on Jeremy's thing and it's
What
just
in the world? It's on your. Do you have something hitting the keyboard or something? Something hitting your keyboard? Yeah.
Yep.
That's
I
what it
sure
was.
did.
I
That was
thought,
so weird.
look,
I'm
it
so
looked like we were
sorry.
having a lightning sale. Get in here now. You can buy some gemstones and cheap ass turtles. Yay.
Jeremy wanted
Ooh.
you to know that he sells all of these vintage toys at their auctions. Do you
Hey,
really?
that's cool, man. Hey, dude, if you run across them, especially like, we'll talk about that. I'm not going to do this live. we need to have some talks on that because, you know, there's a couple of things I've been looking for. I don't know. That is one thing though. Like you said, you chase that nostalgia. You chase that feeling of childhood. You
Yeah.
know. Also,
You
when
know,
I
and
was a kid,
it is a testament though to how great our childhood culture really was, because the fact that we all are desperate to get back to it and we love everything about the toys and the aesthetic and everything, it just means it was a cool time. It really was. Oh, Big Wheels, yes.
oh yeah. John noted the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier, the Flag. That thing was 6 feet long. It was as long
Wow.
as my bed when I was a kid, and it cost, you know, a toy that was over $100 when we were kids. I'll pull all the super chats if I know one, by the way. But he noted that. I remember that, man. All these kids with money would have stuff. You know, nowadays, well, that thing's thousands of dollars now, but it was just it's amazing to go back and to look at some of this stuff and really the price tags on them too. Because Hasbro, they put out a big Star Wars toy, a Jabba the Hutt skiff, and it was the size of like the flag. The flag back in the day, again, was $200. These days, the same kind of toy is thousands of bucks. You know, so yeah, it's crazy. And again, they know who they're marketing to.
Yeah.
They know exactly.
To us. If I buy my kids a light bright, they're going to literally play with it for like an hour and never touch it again. Because why would you
whether
play
ends up playing with them
when you have an iPad? You know?
Well, yeah, I bought a light bright with the kids, and they're like, "Yeah, this is really cool." It was cool for like 12 seconds, you know. And they're like, "Yeah, you know, your phone has a writing and lightning and stuff. They just want to borrow my phone for a few seconds."
Right.
Like, you know,
Right. Light bright is just not fascinating to kids these days. And it's too bad because it was a great toy. One of my favorite toys, and I wonder if anybody has this or had it. One of my absolute favorite toys were Barbie. It was like a stencil, not a stencil kit. It was a fashion plates. That's what they were called. Barbie fashion plates. And you would bring up they had a bunch of pink plastic plates that were bottoms of outfits, middles of outfits, and tops of outfits. And you would have these pieces of paper with Barbie drawn on it, and you would make your own fashion plates by mixing and matching these things. Then you put a piece of paper on, take a flat crayon, and just rub it and make a rubbing. I loved that thing. See, look, the chat knows a bunch of people had those. I played with that thing for so long, hours. Now I wish I still had it. That was a fun thing.
You remember the Easy Bake Oven? Nowadays, apparently, the plastics where they would make like the creepy critters and stuff. Apparently, those are toxic and poisonous. So, yeah, I saw somebody like doing a video of one of those, and they were like, "Yeah, you remember these when you were a kid?" And they were listening to stuff. They were like, "Yeah, it's great. Only we have to wear a mask now because we really know what's in them." It's like,
oh no. Man.
Uh,
Well, I
oh,
always
wow.
wondered that about that, the bubbles that you would blow with the you ever get the thing where it comes with a tube of, like, toxic shit and a straw, and you dip the one end of the straw into the toxic shit,
Oh, it
and you
blows those
blow,
crazy
and
bubbles.
it
Yeah,
blows
yeah.
those crazy bubbles, and they smell, though, like paint thinner. Oh, I'm sure that we killed brain cells with
Oh, yeah.
breathing in that
Oh,
crap.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, those things were toxic. Oh, man. I've been between that. That's pretty much been my day. I've been looking at Shara posts, and I've been, talking about Care Bears and stuff to my kids. I got her I introduced her to the Care Bear cousins. She hasn't gotten that far, like Lionheart and all the animals,
Uh-huh.
the
Oh, yeah,
penguins. So
Lionheart, right.
yeah, so for Christmas, I found her like a 5 set of some of those as an intro. I was like, all right. You can find them like decently priced, even the new ones are under $20. I was like, man, I'm shocked. Feeling it.
I found the fashion plates. I have to show these. You have to see this. So this is what I'm talking about. And you would stick this. It had this pink thing. And I don't know
I've
why.
seen one of the, I didn't know what that thing was. Yeah, I've got one in a box, and I used to buy out like people's toy collections, and I've got one of those somewhere
Do you
upstairs.
really have one? I wonder if it has the plates in it. The plastic plates. They're like little pink plastic plates that go under the paper. You
probably
gotta
does.
show me. You
It
gotta
probably
show
does.
me.
I'll have to dig it out. Yeah. It's one of the
Dig it
good
out.
things. Like if you look in your communities, a lot of times people will sell entire toy collections, and I mean sometimes you find some amazing stuff in that. It gets especially that, or I hate to put it this way, but sometimes when a tragedy occurs, like a marriage falls apart, sometimes you get some really cool deals on some people's stuff.
I bet.
Screw him, all his stuff is gone. I'm like, hey, I'm buying that. Actually, I was driving to work one day, and when I drove past this lady's house, she was cleaning out her attic. She had all this stuff out. I found out later that's what it was, but she had all this stuff out. And I was driving past, I saw her rolling garbage can, and I could see a Star Wars figure arm sticking out. And one of my relatives was laughing at me. They were like, it says something about you when you're driving down the road, and it was slow because it's a back road, but still, you notice like a toy arm sticking out of the garbage and have to go back. I was like, that's
It's
priority.
even funnier that you could identify.
Yeah, I was like, that's
which
Jabba
toy
the
it
Hutt's
was.
arm. Oh my god!
Don't
Must
let it go
save
to waste.
him.
Save Jabba.
That lady was awesome. She was like, just take them. I actually gave her money for them anyway, because she was gonna throw them away, but I was like, these things are worth
something.
money.
Yeah.
So after I concluded my business, then I gave her some money. I didn't want to be like, hey, those are actually worth money. And she'd be like, nah, I'm gonna put them online and sell them then.
Yeah.
No thanks. We want to get them first. Check this out. Okay, so between that and like I said, looking at Shara stuff, posts. I noticed, by the way, I had a couple of people write, and they were like, well, when you're looking at this stuff, do you think you're translating it right? Maybe you're getting a few things, off the mark or anything. Well, I think this says maybe not. Maybe my translation of it is on. At least Shara approved. So
Yeah, Shara said so, that you get it.
Yep. She said Tug gets it 1,000 mile. By the way, I think that's again, I've noticed her humor more and more, like BBB, Bruce, Better Business Bureau. That's the sub count. Remember, we got her up to 1K.
Oh, yes.
So see, I mean, I was like, haha, that's pretty funny.
You speak Shara. It's interesting.
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking I'm
You're the Shara whisperer.
The Shara whisperer.
No, the more I talk to her, the funnier she is.
I do. She would be a fun interview, I think.
She has a really sweet sense of humor, actually. And like, there are people who are like, Super Dave is trying to make a big deal about how, he's got some backstage interview where she reminds Bruce to go after me. Like, does he think I care about that anymore? Does he think I care? I've never cared. First of all, I never care what people say about me. I haven't since I was in the 3rd grade. So if you think that's going to bother me or drive a wedge, somewhere between, that's not happening. Shara's hilarious.
Not just
Shara
that.
gets a pass on all of that from me, period.
I think, if you have somebody that whispers in your ear forever, that person's the devil. After a while, you know what you start believing? That person's the devil, and
Yep.
It takes a minute, it takes a minute. And then again, I'm not trying to excuse anything. People can have their reservations or doubt, but I think if you want to look at what somebody does or what they represent, look at their evidence. And right now she is posting some pretty damn good stuff to look at. These people also look at the reactions it's causing. Look at the panic. They have done everything they can to try to defame, all those words.
They're threatening us again.
Oh, I heard that. I heard that they got some info from the dark webs about the old tugger.
Yeah, the one who likes to lead men around on a leash, that one, she said that the person who sent her the stuff on you, that they told her I'm next. And I should really be shaking.
I probably went over the Kiwi farms and harvested, like I said, about 20% of that stuff's right. It was written, most of it was written by this guy who is, unfortunately, he has since passed, but he was mad at me because he used to cosplay. He was I don't know what's the technical term. Little person, midget. I don't know what the technical term. Again, I'm trying to be a dick about it. I'm just saying. Hey, I found this out. This is how I actually figured out who this was. He had sent me a bunch of cosplay pictures, and apparently I didn't show enough enthusiasm. So after not showing enough enthusiasm, he wrote a novel pretty much, and some of the stuff is wild.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of it is wild, but I mean, whatever. Again, I don't have any criminal background, don't have any problems like that. So there's nothing legit,
Yeah, either they're all saying that she's doing a background check on me. Go ahead, do it. Oh, she said she has all your information. What information is that? Like where I live? Well, if she plans on doxing me, well, that's against terms of service.
Actually, not just that. Okay, so we have legitimately seen proof now that these people, they're not just running a YouTube show. These are legit PR people, and they are involved in a quote unquote what the hell's media ecosystem. They are joined in with the litigant, the lawyer, PR. They're all running together. Yeah, this has become a whole nother thing. So going out and threatening people and trying to silence them becomes a whole different issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a can of worms. Like, these people are really going to get themselves sued. And I'm not saying I'm going to sue you. That's what, I'm sure will be the next, oh my God, they threatened. No, I'm saying for real, like legitly, these people, some of the shit they have done. I know they like to set out and say they're going to sue us all, but for real, they're going to get themselves sued because they have provably entered a plot to take somebody down. And
That's sure what it looks like. It's sure what it looks like. And then they're threatening to do it to other people. It's weird how they're the only ones threatening things. Like what?
Well, they don't. Here's the other thing.
And
too.
threatening people and we're not. No one else is doing that. Just them.
But it's also pointed. It's pointed at people that they consider quote unquote pro Jeremy Hales, because again, that's that anti what the hell's media ecosystem. I like that descriptor. They used it themselves. So, I'm just quoting the Bruce, the BBB, when I say it. But it's fascinating, when they're doing that, they don't realize like how bad that actually looks. They're not doing background checks on the people that they're around. They're not bringing up their background. Of course they're not. It's about silencing people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, But Shara posted this. I'm going to read it. Tug gets it 1,000 miles long. We get our little heart there. Enjoy the wonderful man. Thank you. Thank you, Tug Thug. You knocked it out of the park like a home run hitter. Look, baseball emoji. Then I noticed all the new stuff. I was like, man, this is like Christmas.
Hey, Tug, the mods are asking if you can slow the chat a little.
Let me see how many people are there. I don't like slowing the chat too much. Let me look at the speed. Let me look at it.
1891 and climbing.
Let me see how fast it looks to me. You know, I don't like slowing the chat very much. It's so tough. Let me see how crazy it is.
I know, it doesn't seem like it's flying all that fast to
It
me.
doesn't look too.
Wait,
too
I
terrible.
don't have live chat on. Did you turn it to live?
I just turned it on. Yeah. If it looks faster, I'll slow it down. You know, if it gets a little bit faster, I will. I don't like the one thing I don't like about the slowing it down is it causes people not to be able to continually react. And like if I'm in the chat, it annoys me sometimes. You know, so I try to balance that. And I love you mods too. I'm not trying to be an ass about that. I know. Oh, I hear that off the steps. Hey kiddo. In a little bit. Okay. In a little bit. That's popcorn. Well, she brought me a bag of popcorn. She was like, "They make me popcorn." You know, I'll make some popcorn in a little bit. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Love you. I love you too. Be careful. Hey, those pants are a little long. Be careful when you're walking up the steps. Don't trip over them. Okay. I know, but they're a little long for you. Don't fall on the steps. Love you. Close my door. Being the parent there. Like, hey, wait a minute. Those pants are too long. Don't fall on the steps. I noticed, you know, if you're looking at posts, by the way, I don't use Facebook a lot. So
I never use it. I don't understand the Facebook obsession that some people still have. Like, I got it when I was back in the day, like when everybody was on Facebook, but
yeah,
I gave it up.
Well, it's harder to look up commentary and say, you know, like say a Twitter. One of the things I like about Twitter is it's more convenient. I can go in, I can pull up replies and easily find everything somebody is saying. You know, here you got to sort through the chaos a little more, and you miss stuff. You know, and that does make a mess. But I put it on a new filter, and I noticed over the last few hours we didn't have a post. We had a lot. Like you see a lot. Shara, yeah, they've done this, by the way. They caused this because they keep talking about her. They keep going after her, saying nasty things about her. And of course, she's out there defending herself.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't she? You know, I like the questions to BBB too. By the way, did you hear they're going to put up a quote unquote interview? I use heavy quotations with the word interview.
I've been hearing about this for days. They keep promising it, and then much like the what was that, the royal flush or whatever, it's just been a big turd and nothing's happening. And then there's like screenshots of Bruce being like, "Oh, I sent you the edits for the interview, so you can go ahead and make those changes." So let me get this straight. They're taking their So there's nothing journalistic about this because they're taking their direction and orders straight from the attorney in the case. He's directing the edits on this alleged YouTube show.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
they've got the nerve to tell me that I'm not doing journalism correctly.
Well, I don't take orders from anybody about, you know, putting up edits. Again, if you're going to do an interview, do an interview. You know, I don't see like I don't see Jeremy or George. They go live. They say everything there. And, you know, of course, people, they pick through every sentence that they say. They try to get the old gotcha. But you know what? I mean, they've been pretty blunt and open about what's going on, what they see or perceive, versus, again, what is very much looking like a PR move.
You know, by the way, I don't have a problem with a recorded interview if the people doing the interview are the ones doing the editing. I don't think you should be taking your editing notes from anybody else. I did a couple of recorded interviews with Patty, and I've done other recorded interviews, but I'm the only one in charge of the editing. And the only thing that's getting edited out is when my source says this is off the record. uses a name or something that we wanted to redact out.
Yeah, there's certain things that, you know, you again, you want to protect somebody's address, protect people that aren't involved, protect specific
you
names.
might go down a rabbit hole about something totally unrelated that doesn't belong in the interview, right?
But
You might
yeah,
need to just cut that out. It was wasted space.
but if that person were to say, you know, drop a bombshell on you and you were like, wait a minute, this makes them look like absolute trash, you're not going
Right.
to edit that out. Yeah, I mean,
No.
that's the difference there. You know, you have to really question that. There's
Right.
a reason they don't do live interviews with a certain person.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And there was never a reason not to do a live interview with Patty. It just happened to work with my schedule better that I was able to talk
Yeah,
to
you gotta do
her
it on
when I
the
was
go.
not on the air.
Yeah.
But you know, she did do a live with Jeremy and it was absolutely fine. But there's a reason why they won't let Lynette do a live.
Well, you know, and Jeremy as well, like going to that, he doesn't just do live discussions, he does them with a chat that is able to ask something real time. You know,
Mhm.
thousands and thousands of people that are allowed to ask things real time, and they do. You know, sometimes they're with you, sometimes they question something, and they make it very clear if they have a problem with something or they want to know about something. You know, that's the way that you go out and you make your point. You know, you go out and really showcase what's happening. But we've seen the in the moment skills that were displayed. And you know, these will be friendly.
Can we call those skills? I'm not sure.
I think it's a skill. I do. I think that goes down. Hey man, when you make a top 10 list, that's a skill. You know, it is. And that makes one of my top 10 lists of everything I've ever seen. Now, is it a positive top 10? Well, no, not really. You know, it was also talking about where that's occurring. You know, Shara, the first thing she put up was a fishing expedition, you know, for information. And that was trying to find out about the Jamie stuff, you know, and it brought up, quote unquote, the girls, which we've seen that phrasing utilized twice now from where Shara has actually put up something that was stated by precedent. You know, she's trying to garner information and put people in contact with them. Why? Because again, they've said they're the voice of. They are running PR. They don't even hide it.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild to me. I can't believe like people are like, oh yeah, that's great, bravo. And when people talk about it, it's like, oh yeah, well guess what? We'll get the info on you and we'll dox you. You know, it's like, fuck you say.
It's so sick. It's so weird. Also, I don't know what they think that these weirdos are going to dig up on me. Like, guys, I'm a square. The last time I was in the square, I was in college. There were no cell phones or recording devices back then. So good luck. There is nothing out there. I'm a square.
You just make shit up about you. I've learned that.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to just make anything they come up with is going to be just absolute lies. Because let me tell you something. I've been in the public eye. I have been hated in the public eye for years. Okay. 4chan already went after me. And if you've ever had 4chan dig through your shit, they're going to find it, right? They're going to find whatever it is. Those 4chan oddest weirdos are going to find it. And they never came up with anything either. So their big gotcha for me was just sending me vile things. They didn't have any like, oh, she did this or she did that. There was nothing. There is nothing. There's no arrests. There's nothing like that. I mean, sure, there were probably some wild stories in college, but I'll tell you about those. There was a 9-foot bong once. You know, like 9-foot bong rips. I don't know, like what, there's nothing else other than your average kid stuff. I was never arrested and never did any weird vandalism, didn't get into any trouble. I ran around with boys, but who the hell hasn't? There's nothing. Guys, there's just nothing. But okay, good. Waste your time. What do I care?
It also, it's not even that. It's interesting that you talk about this case. Therefore, you have to be put on trial. You have to be publicly, taken down. That's fascinating to me. I've dealt with some pretty nasty lawyers in the past, and I've dealt with some pretty nasty people, but I mean, again, there's a difference in dealing with somebody, even if you know these people, like with the Amber Heard crazies, man, I know some of those people were in communication. I know it, but they don't admit it. They don't admit they're running PR, because that puts you in a totally different position. One that, hey, you better watch what you're doing. It's kind of stuff that will really fuck up your life, because you get yourself sued. Again, they've already gone after and admittedly done it. They admitted they did this. They'll probably deny it again, but they admitted it live. That sponsor that Jeremy Hale's had, the one that they showed the statement from, where
Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you guys know about this. This news just came out like either this morning or just yesterday. But those of you who are familiar with Veritas and James O'Keefe, several years ago, when he was still with Veritas, he's an undercover, investigative reporter. They sued CNN for the things for defamation.
Yeah.
And they sued CNN for saying really defamatory things about James O'Keefe and his status as a journalist. They said he was taken off of Twitter for spreading misinformation. That's what they said. He has now, it had to go all the way to the appellate court, but the appellate court has reversed the trial court decision that found that CNN wasn't liable, and they are liable, and it was defamatory. So just be careful the things that you're out there saying about someone's journalism, because those things, even if and James O'Keefe's a public figure, he had to prove actual malice, and he did it. He did it. So be careful if you're out there saying about a certain journalist that journalist is spreading lies or whatever it is that you're saying that is not true, and attacking their journalistic integrity, because we now have an appellate ruling that says that's defamatory if it's not true.
Yeah, Ron Coleman posted about that. I saw that roll through.
He sent it to me, by the way. I asked him to send it to me. And I have it. I've just been waiting for a slow moment to go over it on
when
my.
You want to go over it, yeah. But it is fascinating because that got dismissed at first. It was like, oh, that's not going to work. Because a lot of these giant media organizations, like, they have a lot of power, a lot of money, and they get away with a lot. So to see one of them actually held accountable for some pretty nasty business,
and that's precedent setting, by the way.
Yeah,
it is precedent setting. I would not want to be running around running my mouth about somebody's journalistic integrity if I didn't know what I was talking about. Just saying.
I don't even care. Like, if somebody wants to be like, you're this, that, they're fine. You gotta be real careful about, well, I heard this from somebody, or I heard that. Well, you better make sure that shit is legit, because when you start fucking tar and feathering people, you may get them with a little gotcha in the moment, but you may be wearing the problem with that if it isn't true for a long, long time. And it's not some anonymous account doing it. And like I said, it's not just a random YouTube channel. There's a point. There's a reason why people don't want you talking about it. So, and speaking of that, Shara.
Can I show you something real quick?
Yeah. Give me a second. I might have a kid writer again. I'm gonna.
All right. Well,
you wanna pull up something for a minute? Let me get her something real quick. Okay, I'll be back.
All right,
It'll take
go
me
ahead.
5 minutes.
All right, I'm going to show the chat to this. So this is the appellate court decision. As you can see here, opinion of the court. And this is from the appeal from the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. It's Veritas versus CNN. Here's what it says here. After careful review and with the benefit of oral argument, we conclude that Veritas plausibly alleged a defamation claim under New York law. And although the district court did not reach the issue, we also hold that Veritas plausibly alleged that the statements were published with actual malice, an additional requirement imposed by the First Amendment in a defamation suit involving public figures. Accordingly, we reverse the district court's decision and remand for further proceedings. So, you don't mess around. Don't mess around. You never know who's going to decide they've had enough and take you to court and take you all the way on this kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm going to read this eventually. I'm going to read this. These were the statements that were made, by the way. Twitter has suspended the account of Project Veritas for violating a policy that prohibits the sharing or threat of sharing private information. And Cabrera's statements, this is some CNN guy, Twitter has suspended the account of Project Veritas for violating a policy that prohibits the spreading or promoting of misinformation. So this is what the appellate court determined met the standard of malicious defamation. It's pretty... considering what we've heard recently out of certain hate channels, these statements here seem tame in comparison. Just letting you know that you might not know what you think you know about what's defamatory and what's allowed and what isn't. So, all right, let's see now. How many pages is this? Yeah, 38 pages. I'm very excited to read this, actually. This has been going on for years. And that's the other thing. These defamation suits, especially against big media companies, they can just go on and on for years. Here it is. Veritas plausibly alleged that Cabrera's statements are actionable because they were not substantially true. Now, that wasn't why he lost his Twitter account, and it wasn't a violation. The so-called protected information was an address, but the address turned out to be public information. So it was a total joke. Total joke. But yeah, I haven't really even scanned this, but I can't wait to read the whole thing. Oh, this is kind of interesting. We start with a brief overview of New York defamation law. In New York, there are two types of defamation: express defamation, which involves false statements, and defamation by implication, which involves false suggestions, impressions, and implications arising from otherwise truthful statements. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. For instance, you've got hate channels out there who are saying things like, who are accusing me of being a drunk. Yeah, they're saying these things. She's a drunk. I don't know if they know this, but for one, that's a false statement, and it's provably false. And if I decided to take them to court over it, that's a defamatory statement. So they should probably watch that, because New York. Look at this, Tug. Look what I just found.
What's that?
In my state of New York, there's a second type of defamation that I wasn't even aware of. It's defamation by implication, which involves false suggestions, impressions, and implications arising from otherwise truthful statements.
You remember the whole idea that Journey was a puppet master and all that crazy stuff?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That everybody's essentially, they didn't just go with that. Remember, there was the implication that everybody's involved in criminal activity. That
they didn't just imply it. They said it outright. They say every day that what we are doing by having a show where we comment on legal cases currently in the, arena, that is cyber stalking under the guise of journalism, and they've called it RICO.
They also
of a crime.
So I heard too, that there was someone on one of those saying that that a certain somebody didn't say all those things about John Cook that had been noted. So I decided to pull up one of the statements that was made about John.
Oh,
Cook,
wonderful!
just to look at it, yeah. And I'm going to read it to you. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. I have mailed it to myself there. But it went through. And again, this was written by her. She said, I said John was selling his pills for money to pay bills. I also shared with her that as a survivor of SA, I don't allow John to have no shirt on while playing with my daughter. I don't allow him to kiss her on the mouth, if get mad, if his shorts
Where
right
did
up.
she write this?
This is in one of her written out. I'll send it over to you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, because
remember,
remember,
like a Facebook post.
No. I'll send it over. You
Okay.
know. Yeah. But there's she also said that John does not like women much and that he is verbally abusive to me, makes fun of me. You know, so I mean, there's statements like that were made. Again, you know, we've pulled up her own statements. These are from her. And I noticed this dance of that stuff. What is it? Like, do we pretend it didn't exist? Do we pretend somehow that that all went away? You know, I've seen congratulations about, you know, they're saying John's sober and everything. That's somehow changed things. And by the way, sobriety, that's no joke. I'm not making, you know, light of that. That's, if truly are maintaining sobriety, that's great. That's 100% great because you can't make good decisions there. But the stuff that was said, again, we heard the freaking audio with the police about the ex-wife. I mean, those are terrible things that were stated. Oh,
Yeah, not good. And also, there are videos, by the way, that she took off of Facebook but have been retained. I have access to some of those saying similar things about John, and it's clearly her on the video saying it. These were things that she stated publicly. So if they want to say that that didn't happen, there's plenty of receipts to back it up.
It's there, yeah. And again, you know, those are, it's this weird dance of believe my client. Believe my client. Okay, well, don't believe my client with that. Let's not pretend it's there. It's like, wait a minute. I don't know. It's so weird. Shara, though, you know, talking about people who've been threatened a lot. I get the distinct impression that Shara has been threatened quite a bit. And we see these threats happen live, talking about suing and other things. We've heard that. Oh, you know, and worse, I mean, the first thing that you and I listened to, you know, when Shara posted that thing about Slug, they were like, you don't, basically, again, I'm paraphrasing, but they were like, you don't want none of this. That's a threat. They made a threat to her. And she's been motivated. So she's like, hey, BBB. Actually, let's pull this post up. I may have to roll back down to this too. You know, it says, any email Shara received or exchanged while being part of a legal team would be under client-attorney privilege, especially those exchanged between her and the client and her attorneys. Those include private chat messages and conferences. So they're trying to shut her up, and they're trying to say,
well, you know what else this is? Which is weird. It's legal advice. Why are they giving legal advice? They're not lawyers.
That's very true.
A lay person cannot make this statement. Who wrote this?
Well, not just that. Are they part of that team?
How would they? Yeah, how would they have access? Do they have access to these messages that they're talking about? Because if a lawyer shows any or invites anyone into into his conversation with a client, unless that person is part of his law office, and I mean a paid employee, it is my understanding that that is breaking privilege. And also, I don't understand why these two non-lawyers are posting legal advice directed at Shara on their channel or in the comments. What is this? Their community page? Yeah, community page. They can't make this statement. This is a legal conclusion.
This makes me wonder, though. Again, what exactly is their status, like an actual status in their involvement with this person? You know, are they speaking? They said they're speaking for the person. Are they speaking for them as part of the law office then? Do they, you know, again, I'm curious. I'm because like you said, that's a legal threat, you know? They're like, and Shara's like, BBB, she's aiming that to Bruce. Like, what emails? The emails before privilege regarding CT, or the small window emoji of questionable quote unquote privilege emails? I'm waiting for super quote unquote big D, to post his emails to prove his lies of my alleged quote unquote excitement, or was that a trap? What is that little emoji? Is that a trap? I can't tell what that is.
A mousetrap? I don't know. I can't
Maybe.
tell. It's
I
too
can't
small
tell.
from
So,
here.
yeah, they don't. That's another thing I don't like about
It's a
Facebook.
mousetrap. I just
Okay.
made my screen bigger. It's a mousetrap.
All right. Another trick. Is that candy? Treat? Treat emoji? to get me to respond with privilege so you could harm my life legally for having a kind heart and concerns for a child. Heart emoji. Is that what that little chat, you can see the chat emoji tease was by your quote unquote PR? What do you think you're dealing with? A jokelist?
Oh, Shara,
I
that's
gotta
funny.
recenter this, by the way. It'll start me and go.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought
Shara, that's funny.
I thought that was pretty damn funny.
I don't think she doesn't seem very intimidated to me. I don't think she's going to back down to their shit.
I think when all this stuff hits you at first, you have conflicting emotions. Because I've been there, you know. I think we've all been there. We've been threatened by people. We've been threatened for them to basically haul your life, you know, out and try to ruin, defame, sue, use lawfare against you. And of course, you have conflicted emotion. But some people have that drive. And it motivates them. And she seems more motivated these days than I think I have seen her motivated.
Well, I think, like I said, she was conflicted before. And so she was doing the minimum of what she could do without having to come forward about her concerns because she was conflicted. Wait, go back up.
This is somebody else talking to me.
I like this comment by Pam Carson. I think we should read it. It says, Shara, you know darn well you are under no contractual obligation to keep any communication between you and anyone. You sign nothing. Therefore, you are not bound by the law to secrecy. If Bruce was so incompetent not to have you sign legal documentation or to hire you with compensation, that's on him. I hope he's smarter now and he has had Lisa and Tori sign something and anyone else he's pulling into this, but your journalistic investigation is all yours. I think this is a very astute comment, and my understanding of the law is that that's correct. Now, my understanding might be flawed, but I don't think so. I think when you invite somebody else into a conversation with your client, even if you say, hey, this is confidential and this is privileged, you're screwed. You already broke privilege. Mm-hmm. And then you know she's a journalist. You knew that going in. And journalists have their own set of ethics like lawyers do, but journalists have a duty to the public. And if I tell somebody, I will keep this confidential. Certainly, this conversation is just between us. And then that source gives me evidence that they're involved in fraud and a possible crime. I am under no obligation to keep that conversation quiet or confidential, even though I said I would.
You also can't make me part of
a crime. It's a conspiracy.
Can't make me part of a conspiracy. Yes, right. Exactly.
Yeah, right. If you try to drag me into a conspiracy after I've said I won't say anything, I am no longer obligated to keep that to myself.
And they knew she was a journalist. Again, I'm not pull this up right here, but I've pulled it up in front of myself. You know, Preston herself was saying that she was jealous. You know, again, her words, not Shara, because Shara's like, jealous of what exactly? But they were saying, you know, because you think that Toulis has become the new journalist. Nah, you know, we didn't replace you, essentially is what they're saying. Nothing and no, we don't have a new journalist. So they're saying, you know, you are a journalist. They are noting that point blank. I noticed, by the way, they skipped over the little statement about not being happy with Bruce or anybody else. I noticed that just gets left by the wayside too. You know, we see those rifts and waves, and that's going to become worse when you know. Again, I feel like looking at the evidence in the past and looking at everybody that has crossed paths again. Grandkids. We are talking about Lloyd. We're talking about people that were supposed to be friends, people that worked on the property and more. Everybody has been called something pretty awful. So You
And this
know, I don't think
pattern,
I'm.
the pattern keeps repeating of people
Yeah.
who come into contact with Lynette and John, and then those people get into an altercation. There's some falling out, and then those people will tell their story. This keeps happening over and over again, not just with Lloyd, but with her grandson, with Shara, with Jamie Johnson.
Hey, I'll be right back. Somebody's knocking on my
Sure.
door. That's weird. I must
Uh-oh,
make sure nobody called the
knocking on the
popo or
door.
something. Yeah.
Oh,
Who knows?
Lord.
Could be a neighbor.
You
but
better not be
yeah,
getting
I'll be
raided.
right back.
All right. I'll hold down the fort while we find out if Tug's being swatted. That would be really ridiculous. And by the way, I wouldn't try that crap here. Just don't even think about it. My sheriff is well aware, so I won't have any problems. It'll just cause problems for people who do it. So anyway, I think we already read this comment. I think Tug read it last night, but I can go over it again. She says, I'm sharing my previous comment here. CPS is corrupt in both directions. I agree with her on this. They take children from innocent families and leave children in gross neglect or abuse and at great risk. Foster care also concerns me. Children are seriously harmed in foster care every day. I have seen precious children taken for dishes in the sink, literally, and other children with facial bruises in foster care ignored. I have not witnessed abuse or neglect in this case, but I have heard things in conversations and on records regarding risk that prompted me to speak up. I have now heard and seen things in police audio and record that have confirmed my growing concerns. And I was silenced and threatened when I did speak up. When I heard the sheriff audio the file that Jeremy Hales published in September, I cried. I felt sick. And I watched him in that video in a new light. Although I do not agree with everything he's doing, and I do not agree with ongoing events regarding Town Hall, I truly feel that he is strongly advocating for this child and feels threatened in this case, as he has stated all along. I understand why. How does anyone ignore the new sheriff audio and video, and why? Children are never casualties for any reason. Not for fame, not for money, not for a win, trophy emoji, not for anything. We drop everything for children who are defenseless. Their childhood is brief, yet sets the core of their entire lives. Children are always innocent. The choices are always forgiving. You good? You going to jail or anything?
That was a lost delivery person, actually.
Oh, yeah.
They're out it's 8 o'clock at night. I was like, yeah, how much more do you still? Oh, still got more to do, but they were lost. Lord. I was like, man, hopefully it ain't the popo, like being called up here for some stupid nonsense. Yeah, people do
Poor
that
guy.
stuff.
Did you set him on the right path to get out of the neighborhood?
I did. I helped him figure out where he's going. But at 8 o'clock. Yeah, I was like, well, unfortunately, you're a little off your target there. He looked deflated, like, oh no, I'm not that far off. I was like, yeah, you are. Anyway, but yeah, Shara's posted a lot more as well on this too. She's making her stance very clear. I think that's important too. So she says, I'm sharing my previous comment here. CPS is corrupt on both directions. They take children from innocent families and leave children in gross neglect or abuse and at great risk. Foster care also concerns me. Children are seriously harmed in foster care every day. I have seen previous children taken for dishes in the sink, literally. And yes, this stuff does happen for sure. And other children with facial bruises in foster care ignored. I've not witnessed abuse or neglect in this case, but I have heard things in conversation and on the records regarding quote unquote risk that prompted me to speak up. I have now heard and seen things in police audio and record that have confirmed my growing concerns, and I was silenced and threatened when I did speak up. When I heard the sheriff audio file JH published in September, I cried. I felt sick. And I watched him in that video in New Light. By the way, I don't remember this comment. Do you?
I can't say. There's too much stuff. I'm not sure.
I don't remember. Like, I remember some of this stuff, but I don't remember like this being a direct repost, you know? Because I went through and screenshot a bunch of stuff, you know, since everything was going on. Now, again, the way Facebook sets, maybe I did miss some stuff. But although I do not agree with everything he is doing, and I do not agree with ongoing events regarding Town Hall, I truly feel he is strongly advocating for this child and feels threatened in this case, as he has stated all along. That is a huge statement by her, by the way, because she has spent a lot of time and she has a lot of behind the scenes knowledge that none of us have. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think from her, you know, again, for many of us, making statements about what we see on a surface level, that's one thing. But again, she's talked about having interviews. I remember her, you know, talking about, you know, when certain events came up, she talked about her interviews that she had, talking to Preston, and, you know, all of that access. And by the way, that access, that's not, they're not going to be able to go in and claim all of that stuff as somehow protected by privilege. She's been around a lot longer than those people have.
Yep. And that's the other thing. So she's been on this case before Bruce came into it. So how does he end up co-opting her and putting a lid on her story? I don't think he has the power to do that.
Well, you know, they were turning to her and trying to get information from her too, saying that, you know, again, like you said, that either her communications through, you know, interviews or, you know, just following up with people, whatever, her journalistic investigation, she's got pieces that they still want. And that's, again, that says, you know, maybe they're privy to what they are, but they don't have that piece. That's all hers, man. She dug all of that up on her own. But I understand why, as she says too. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What are you saying?
No, she did though. You're right. I mean, she dug up a whole bunch of stuff on her own. And it looks like they wanted to co-opt that and then control it. And that's really not what journalists do. We don't give up our story to just randos. Well, look, if let's say Jeremy's lawyer, like I'd been on this case, right, before I ever, you know, heard about him or whatever, I just been on the case. If Jeremy's lawyer ended up in my DMs, I'm sure I'd talk to him, but it wouldn't be like, I would not be taking orders from him. He would not be telling me what, if he ever tried to tell me like, you need to edit this out or edit that out, I'd be like, excuse me, what?
Exactly.
You need to not tell me how to do my job and I won't tell you how to do yours. How about that?
Yeah. And, you know, I treat good faith conversations a specific way. People aren't involving me in some kind of conspiracy. It's not going against my moral compass, you know, none of that. Again, if I'm trying to find out information, I do keep certain things to myself, you know. Yeah. I mean, that's what you do. Because you got to verify. You know, you don't repeat every rumor, innuendo. Nope. You don't do all that. You got to find out if things are true. And, you know, we've mentioned things here and there, but we note, again, this is what I've heard. If they'd like to disprove that or bring that up, they are welcome to. You know, but typically, you know, like the use of accounts, for example, I can't definitively say that somebody is running alternate accounts to do certain things. But, you know, there have been people that have made strong implications about that, have pulled up different items that, you know, they're like, hey, this is this ISP, this is where this belongs to, and so on. And it's like, wow, that looks like something, you know, but I can't definitively say 100% things like that are correct. There's enough stuff though, when it just becomes like a whisper or whatever, I don't bring up. I've heard all kinds of crazy ideas and notions, and I wouldn't put my name to, you know, but anyway, let's see. How does anyone ignore the new sheriff audio and video, and why? Children are never casualties for any reason, not for fame, not for money, not for a win. not for anything. We drop everything for children or defenseless. That's true. You know, the idea of a truly progressing society is how you look out for your vulnerable populations, children, elderly, you know, those mentally ill, how you defend the defenseless. So that is 100%. Their childhood is brief. It sets the core their entire lives. Children are always innocent. Their voices are always forgiving. In the past days, I have revisited runs on statements by someone that lived on the property for a length of time, and I'm sickened by what I missed. This has come up a few times, you know, this statement right here. Like, that's got me very curious.
Yep.
It does, because I've seen that 3 or 4 times. And I wonder, like I said, with them going out and telling her, we're going to come after you, essentially, you know, these heavy-handed threats, are they trying to silence that? Do they know she has something that really looks bad for them? Because otherwise, I mean, again, you know, we're not talking about case strategy. We've already seen the case played out. We've seen them argue. Hell, Bruce has been on fucking how many live streams now? He's laid out his case. We've already seen, again, the way that they're going to fight this. We've actually seen them go even further. You know, we've seen the stuff with the sign, you know, and their so-called expert they brought in. We've seen even more about how they went in. And yeah, I don't think there's anything like that would be a surprise or would be giving anything away. But
I'm pretty sure that they are very scared of whatever it is that she has.
it seems like it.
Otherwise, I don't think they would be acting like this. I think they would just ignore it.
Yeah. Well, they're building her up. Good job, too. You know, the other thing, too, I thought was interesting. They always promise people, we're going to get you those views. We'll get you them, you know, your subscribers. We'll get you people, right? Well, okay, for Shara, how did that work out? You know, they got her. And again, I'm not saying this negatively towards Shara. I'm saying it negatively towards that idea. She had, what, 23 subscribers? We looked at first. They kind of
they
wanted
sidelined her.
Yeah, they wanted to use her for whatever, pump her for information here and there, and they wanted to use any kind of journalistic talents, but they didn't build her up, you know, and kind of remedied that. It made me mad. You know, I've had a few people write me and be like, well, how would you help Shara get 1,000 subscribers? Well, first of all, I encourage the truth to come out of something. You know, I want to encourage that. I want to say it's appreciated, but also you had people laughing at her in comments and saying, you will never be able to get this. You know, now basically you've sunk that. And it's like, screw you. I take that as a direct challenge.
And you know, the interesting thing about Shara is I genuinely believe her when she says she doesn't want attention from this. She's not acting in a way that someone who wants attention would act. She's been sitting on this stuff for a long time. She's been wrestling with this for a while. And if she had wanted the attention, she could have got it very easily.
Every one of these statements could be a video if she really wanted attention, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, out of her own, I don't think she would mind me telling anybody this. I think I've spoken to her and she's reiterated to me several times. She likes to work in the background. Right. She doesn't like to be out front. She's not interested in making a big splash because she doesn't like the attention that it brings to her life and her family. And, you know, she's already suffered from threats and she doesn't want any more of that, which I completely understand and I completely sympathize with. You know, that ship has sailed for me and for Doug, but there are people out there who are like, look, I just would prefer to do what I do and kind of go unnoticed.
That's kind of how I wanted to, you know, I just wanted my words to reach people, but I never wanted a face attached to it or my name, but people couldn't allow that. You know, they were like, we're going to ruin you for freaking talking about things. And at a certain point, you have to either say, you know, I'm all in, or, you know,
Yep.
I'm out of all of this. And I feel like Shara is telling him, hey, I'm all in. And she's telling you why right here. You know, I
Yep.
witnessed things that really bothered me. They sicken my heart. You know, I'm sickened by the passing over their friendship feud. I was blinded. So again, you know, she reiterates, just like with the neighbor thing, I would have never noticed that statement. If somebody else wouldn't have pulled that up, I would never have noticed the comment about smacking the mouth, you know, because it was what, 2 minutes and 2 minutes and a half in a 4-minute audio about fence posts.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a really easy one to overlook because it didn't have anything to do with Jeremy. So you might have just put it in the category of don't need to listen.
Check that there. MP has demanded that I break all ties with this person.
Which person?
The friendship person. She hasn't given the name.
I think it's Jamie. That's
Yeah.
my guess.
That's how I've garnered. But again, I feel like I'm speculating until something.
I am speculating. I don't have any. I can't verify that. I'm just saying if I had to guess, I would guess she means Jamie Johnson, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, with the fishing and stuff like that, you know, fishing expedition for everything. Not PH fishing, you know, but fishing expedition for information. I was even accused of feeding this person information at the time that we have our info emoji. I never did. So there were accusations even then, you know, if you don't break ties with that person, you're working as a spy. Does that sound familiar? Have we heard something like that recently?
Yes.
I seem to remember Shara being called a spy for Jeremy Hales, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. So now she was accusing her of being a spy for this person.
Yeah.
For this other person.
And she notes that there actually, you can tell I didn't read this all of this statement here because now she says, just as I'm accused of being a spy for Jeremy.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that's
so again, the paranoia that exists, it just makes me laugh because in my Sims game, you have to choose these characteristics, you know, like what's the character like, and one of the choices is paranoid. And it cracks me up because the paranoia in the little Sims characters, you know, makes them do really weird things and like turn on friends and stuff. And I'm seeing this here, like it's just the accusations that are always flowing from this woman towards others related to her. They just have this real paranoid feel to them.
Is it paranoia though, or are they more like loyalty tests? Because you had the statement, you know, when you want to reel in people, you tell them like how valuable they are and how, you know, we do love you. But, you know, at the same time, if you're doing this, then maybe you'll be perceived as a traitor. You know, we saw that statement to someone else. And there was the statement to Shara, you know, from when Bruce, he said, you know, I spoke to whomever earlier. Michelle says she's totally trustworthy. Her text to me, quote, anything, help taking Hales out. And then said, you know, after she was like, I'm not interested in taking him out. I'm just interested in justice for his target. He said, I know, I'm just showing you she's on our side. Obviously, Michelle calls her closest friend next to you. You know? Yeah, so I mean, there's that. You know, you hear you don't get everything with the stick. Sometimes you try to carry it along with the carrot too. Oh yeah, you're my friend. I value you. But she says all defamation. For the record, I've always pursued all sides of this story, and nothing has changed other than quitting this case in August. So she tells you, you know, again, you know, I quit, and she says she quit. I took it like 3 or 4 times the way that her statements have read. Isn't that the way you've taken that?
I can't say that I've really thought about that. So I don't know.
It feels like conflict, you know, when you're looking at something and you're like, there's something wrong here. I'm done. I wash my hands of it. And then she says she was begged back in.
Yeah, I think she got begged back in one time. I don't think it happened more than once, but I could be wrong on that. I mean, there's a lot of ins and outs.
Again, Shara,
it's very complicated.
If you hear this, again, when you get everything situated, when you get everything the way that you want to showcase it, because I'm sure, you know, all the pieces, I know this from dealing with other things in the past, you know, the pieces, you'll have a lot of pieces, but they don't make sense until later on. You're like, oh man, look at this piece. Oh, I missed this. This connects to that. Once you get all of that aligned, and then you put out whatever you're going to say or do, you are welcome to have a conversation. Again, it won't be a nasty one or anything. I think you can tell Megan and I, we'll get on and cut up with you. You know, we'll have fun, but we'll do an interview. We'll talk about what's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there can't be any, like she was talking about being forced or threatened or pressured into, you know, doing other stuff. Yeah, there won't be any of that.
There won't be any of that. We don't do that here. We're not gonna. We don't pressure, or threaten anybody.
No,
You
I
know,
would tell.
I talk to people who want to tell their stories, and I don't threaten people with this kind of crap.
I also tell people, like, if they're involved in cases or they don't want to answer something, I may ask them something, but they always have the right to say, I don't want to say that, or I can't talk about that. Yeah, I mean, anytime. So nothing has changed other than quitting the case to continue independently due to my growing concerns and confirmation I was misled. My heart was invited here. Now it's broken. I can't rest at all after hearing things, but I'm receiving threats and I'm afraid. So she's stating straight up, you know, I am being threatened here. And yes, I am afraid. I really would like, I wish she would detail that a little more, you know. And again, I'm not trying to dig into your life, Shara, with this. I'm wondering, when you're saying that, are you afraid that they're going to try to, you know, practice lawfare? Are you afraid for safety? Is this a safety concern? Because if that is, you know, it's a major statement no matter what. But if you're saying, man, I worry about my safety, that is a big statement in of itself. And she says, although, oh, go ahead.
I'll be right back. Okay, I gotta go put Hangry to bed.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read through the end of that, and I'll stop on this one. Okay.
Right. Yeah, go ahead. I'll be right back.
Okay. Although I've never been a victim, so she says, you know, and I understand that too. You know, when you look at something, when you're going through things, you don't look at yourself as a victim in something. I mean, I get that 100%. You know, she says, I've spent years fighting for children wrongfully removed after I learned about CPS in family court. So yes, I agree 100%. CPS is corrupt in many cases. And that is indeed something I 100% agree with too. You know, I've talked about in the past, Texas. If you've never heard this before, just again, I'm taking a lot of detail and just compacting it into a few sentences. But essentially, the entire state of Texas was held in contempt by a federal court because they would not clean up their CPS systems. The children, what was happening to them in that system, it was worse in many cases, actually quite a few cases, than what they were being taken away from. Like she mentioned, you know, kids being taken away from homes because of dirty dishes. That does happen. You know, if there's sometimes you have a reason for that, you know, as in somebody has a problem and they want to cause someone harm. Sometimes it's ineptitude. But regardless, I mean, that does harm. And it does happen. Very much so. And that makes people leery. And also, you know, that will make you side with people sometimes against the state. You know, for myself, I can't speak for other people, but for myself, anytime I see institutions going after people, I automatically want to default, and be like, maybe when the person complains about that, there is a problem, like something terrible is happening. But sometimes those systems, they're there for a reason too. Let's see what the commentary is. Yeah, and people have noted too. They'd be interesting to see your research on CPS prior to this. I think a lot of people, when you go through and you look at that, for 100%, and there's a lot more. Let me mark this so I don't lose my place. But I mean, like I said, Shara said quite a bit, quite a bit. And these are, like I said, you can see the add-ons. How is your cussing, slandering, threatening, PR, legally advising me in writing? Yeah, I'll come back to this. It's here. Did you deputize her too? Okay.
I may just mute myself, but I'm listening.
Okay. Well, she notes this later on. We saw that one statement. She asks, like, how is your cussing, slandering, threatening, quote unquote, PR, legally advising me in writing?
Very weird.
Yeah. Did you deputize her too? Would that make her more than your quote unquote PR?
Yeah. Is she part of the law firm?
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering.
Is she a paralegal now?
I mean, how is that working out?
Is she Bruce's assistant?
Let me get a drink here.
So weird.
So, she also noted here, BBB, November 12th, 2024. So this happened, like I said, 12 hours ago, is what it notes on here. For documentation, I think the clock would have to be off on that a little bit. I don't know, maybe set in a different time zone or something. I don't know, because it'd be more than 12 hours. But anyway, for documentation purposes, your clients text directly to me, threatening, quote, an eye for an eye is fully documented evidence, along with your quote unquote PR, publicly telling me to watch my back. They're terrifying threats, warnings, defamation with malice, false accusations of crimes I never committed, including false accusations of quote unquote blackmail and of being a quote unquote spy for Germany, seemingly quote unquote framing me, stated publicly by your manic appearing and angry behaving quote unquote PR, while all along I was misled by your client, stating that she was the one being framed. Wow, that is a lot compacted just into that alone.
It is. And think about what I just showed you in the lawsuit for defamation that James O'Keefe just won. The statements they made about him were that he was spreading misinformation. This stuff that she is talking about, threats, watch your back, warnings, defamation with malice, accusing her of blackmail, a crime, accusing her of being a spy, certainly insinuating not being ethical for a journalist. I mean, this is way worse. This stuff, and we all heard it. We heard it. We played clips, I believe, or at least we read the transcripts of them threatening her live.
Oh yeah, we saw that. That's what really kicked that off. This statement, though, at the beginning there, your clients text directly to me, threatening an eye for an eye.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one.
Woo, man. Woo, howdy. That's pretty fiery right there. Mm-hmm. Are they going to go out and be like, because again, they've called her a liar and more. They basically forced her into this position where she has to prove herself because they're calling her a liar. They couldn't just let her, again, have her opinion. They could have handled this.
They couldn't just give her $300 back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even get that either. Like you have a lawyer representing somebody and you contact said lawyer and you're like, yo, why don't you tell your client to give me my money back? And the lawyer's like, why are you trying to involve me in that? Who do you think I am? Their lawyer? I mean, what's happening?
It's very much like his comment about, I'm not trying to get anybody's YouTube taken down. I'm just trying to get this guy's YouTube taken down.
Wasn't it fascinating, by the way, to see proof of again, private messaging about wanting people to flag that
When
channel.
exactly what we said was happening, mass
Yeah.
flagging campaigns, and they're all, we're not doing that. Oh yeah, well now we have the proof.
I like how there are people out there. Again, it just proves that some people don't give a shit about what's happening because, again, the statement was point blank. It was August 20. I'm pulling it up in front of my face here. August 21st, 2024.
Hangry wants to say goodnight. Sorry. Here we go.
Hello and good night.
Good night.
He's wearing a t-shirt that says "Getting losers, we're getting spooky." It's so cute. It's so cute. I wish you could see it. It's adorable.
A ghost named Kevin.
Yeah, you did. All right, to bed. To bed with you. Closed door. Thank you, sweetheart. Sorry.
Yeah, I wish people, that's one thing I hate about all this crazy too. I really wish I could pull up the little one doing her Joker impression. That's funny.
It is fun. It is cute. But the safety of kids, it's just too important. Yeah. And there are crazy people out there.
I ran into this.
I still get nervous when my 18-year-old wants to come on with me. I'm like, no, I don't think so. And she's like, Mom, I'm 18. But still, it still weirds me out.
I ran into this weird place at one time where, I was like, I'm not posting any pictures of my kids. And other people were doing that for me. They were posting them along with some crazy statements. So, for a little while I did. I was like, they're not going to be the one posting pictures of my children. I'm going to, I will have ownership of that because that is creepy to me. I don't want people anytime they search, if they look up family or something, they find that. But yeah, talking about Bruce getting off. Right. So on August 21st, 2024, he said, I want to encourage people to report Veteran Nation video and to get the channel shut down. So that was a message that was involved in her video that she pulled up. So yeah, of course, not flagging channels though, right? Not encouraging people to flag them. And yet, so crazy. Mm-hmm. Your legal team, though, she continues, is threatening an independent advocacy journalist on a story fully documented as they were receiving emails from you simultaneously. Huh. Interesting. You're making threats while also sending me emails and other shit? Huh.
When she says they, who does she mean? I'm confused by the sentence. Your legal team is threatening an independent advocacy journalist, that's Shara, on a story fully documented as they were receiving emails from you simultaneously. Who's they?
Maybe. Is she talking
the
about
legal team? The legal team.
I
think they refers to the legal team. Okay, so
okay.
Your legal team is threatening me. While they, at the very same time, they were receiving emails from you simultaneously. So she's saying you're directing them.
Yeah, you're directing traffic.
You're directing your quote unquote legal team to threaten me. I think that's what she's saying. That's my guess.
Your quote unquote PR noted their plans to be excited, hostile witnesses in court depositions.
Yeah, they did. I remember that. Okay, so I remember hearing one of the Blunder twins, laughing hysterically about John Cook's deposition, saying, if you think that's bad, wait till you get me in there. Planning already to be hostile witnesses. If they're called, if they're subpoenaed, if they're deposed. This is interesting.
You're thinking of a federal court if you end up getting pulled into that, or you get sued in some other way. Again, I don't know what had happened, but you think that would be fun? You think it's going to be like the shit show with a 100% friendly judge? If
they get pulled into this federal suit, and we've seen the deadlines, it is not too late for people to be added to it. Let's say they get added to it. And they think they're going to pull some shit by being hostile witnesses in a deposition in the same room as a federal magistrate. Good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. I wouldn't recommend it.
No, that's the.
I would recommend what Shara's going to do in the next sentence. Love this sentence, by the way.
Yes, please note. Ooh, look at that note emoji.
Notepad
by the way.
emoji.
Yeah. I'll be fully cooperative and respectful witness. Yes, that's how you should. Yeah, that is how you should be anyway.
That's how you're supposed to be when you are a witness in a court case. You respect the court, you respect the process, and you cooperate because you're there under law. Duh.
She also notes, and this is a statement, again, I've heard from more than one person, talking about the impact going on. Please also note your team is causing harm to my physical health for months now. Please also note my concern for the child remain paramount and are not privileged. Huh.
And that's true. That's true. So again, like I said, even in privileged conversations, if you're made aware of, and I'm not talking about between lawyer, well, only the lawyer can not break privilege, which it appears he's done. The client has the right to break privilege whenever they want. A client can go and tell me or anybody else what the lawyer talked about, and that person's allowed to break privilege, but the lawyer cannot. He's the only one who's not allowed to break privilege. He says something to a journalist, and she takes it as this guy is planning something unethical, illegal, or immoral. She has no obligation to keep that quiet. That is an exception to any privilege or confidentiality rule. Any concern of there's a crime here or an attempt to commit a crime, that's not privileged. That wouldn't hold up under an NDA either. If she had even signed an NDA, which I don't believe she has, but let's say she did, and she came away with concerns that something illegal, immoral, or unethical was going on, that breaks the NDA.
Yes, you can't haul somebody into a conspiracy. I mean, again,
and then demand that they stay quiet about it. Like, what is this, the mafia? What are we doing here?
Yeah, when you have statements, and there are a few concerning, and apparently Shara took these because of the way she put them into videos. And she noted, hey, we're flagging down. They're encouraging people to flag down a channel, Veteran Nation, video and channel. On top of that, her text to me, anything to help taking Hales out. And also, the statement directly from that said, we need to expose him. He needs to go under. I want to see him off YouTube permanently. Those are two different statements, by the way. Yeah, I could see you not wanting to be wrangled into that, especially when we're talking about lawsuits that deal with that. And she actually, we were talking about agreements or anything. So check this out. BBB. Why is your quote-unquote PR making numerous public statements that I'm on the quote-unquote legal team when I'm not? In fact, there was never a contract or any formal understanding or agreement, or as a legal member in which I'm not qualified for, nor have the education for or experience for.
Now that's interesting. So now she's confirmed there was never a contract or any formal understanding or agreement. And if, let's say, that she agreed verbally, whether in the text messages or whatever, to keep something confidential, again, that does not include being drawn into what she sees as a conspiracy, something illegal, something immoral, something unethical. That does not include that. It just doesn't. She's a journalist. You can't invite a journalist into your conspiracy and expect it to remain a secret. Not if they're any good of a journalist. If they're a decent journalist, they're going to rebel, and they're going to drop it like it's hot and show the evidence of you plotting stuff that's illegal, immoral, or unethical. Period. And clearly, I think Shara has done the work here in convincing me that she's a decent journalist who isn't going to put up with this crap at all.
Yes, and in reporting crimes or anything else, there is that actually you're not allowed privacy for crimes.
Yeah. Can you imagine going to court and being like, well, Your Honor, she agreed to keep the evidence of our conspiracy to herself, and she didn't. So we would like to sue her. The judge is going to be like, what? No, that's not how any of this works. Now, clearly, that's not how they would run their defense. They would claim that they didn't have a conspiracy. But I think we have quite a bit of evidence that shows that they are working in concert together in what one might call an ecosystem that works together in concert and multi-organisms working together as one. I mean, I'm just using the words he used himself to describe what it is that they are doing.
Well, off the record too, when you look at what off the record, what does that mean? Oftentimes with journalism, that means not directly attributing something to someone. You'll have people that'll discuss, I heard this, blah, 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 but they don't attribute that to a specific source. They have a source they could go back to.
Or if it's off the record, you can also get around it by saying an unnamed source. It just depends on what the off the record thing is. If the person telling you the thing they want off the record is doing it because they want it out, but they don't want their name attached to it, well, that's then going to still be reported just through an anonymous source. Now, personally, I don't like anonymous sources. I only do that if I absolutely have to, because I feel like the mainstream press relies on anonymous sources way too much. And I swear to God, they don't even have them. They just will make up shit and attribute it to an anonymous source. My editor, by the way, if we ever use anonymous sources, she has to have like video calls with the source and gets their driver's license and their ID and verifies who they are. That's the only way.
I give sources anonymity, but has come out before, when it's been revealed. That's one of the things I've liked about certain trials. It proved that yes, indeed, unlike say the mainstream, you are talking to people, and you are talking to people in the know. Whether that's lawyers, the people themselves, whatever. You are talking to people in the know, but you're valuing their. The reason a lot of people want anonymity too, it's because of fear of safety. But interestingly, like in this situation, off the record is not meant to be utilized as a bludgeon either. You can't be like, oh, you're a liar. You have nothing to back this up. Oh, by the way, everything that was said was off the record. Wait, no, you can't play that game.
Yeah, no. And generally speaking, if you're speaking to a source, I usually up front say, if any of this is off the record, I need you to tell me before you say the thing. Okay, so like I set up parameters. Like,
right,
we're going to talk on the record, but if you need to go off the record, please just say, and this is off the record, ABC. And then we can go back on so that when I'm going through it, I can understand that, oh, got to cut that out. Most of the time, people who want to say things off the record, it's usually just an on background sort of thing. Like, I need to give you background information, but this shouldn't make it in there, so that it's context so you understand the bigger picture.
Typically when I've ran into people, usually I don't run into people that don't want information out. I run into people that are afraid of what'll happen if their name is attached to it.
Right. That's truly the problem. Yeah.
I mean, I run into it, I've talked to people in, when I would cover comics and other stuff, as I started getting more and more sources, I would talk to people that were attached to, say, a Disney 100% will come after you, and they will ruin you. We've seen that with employees. We've seen them not only fire people but come after them. Warner Brothers, like smaller companies, IDW. And that, again, you'd find out all kinds of just more than questionable. I wouldn't say. I would say legally a gray area. Yes, you can do, but whoa, what a questionable thing. And they wanted it out there. They just don't want their name attached.
Mm-hmm.
She says, whatever it was that you came into my messenger to do in my story, I quit the case months ago in August. So why are you letting her lie this way? That's a fascinating, like this right here is a heck of a statement though. I mean, That answers so much. No contract. So how exactly is privilege? How is that being utilized? Again, if she's invited in as a journalist, she was already on this story and they started. I have this feeling, just in my gut, and again, we'll see what plays out, but I have this feeling that they thought that Shara was a friendly, that she would never talk about what was happening or the truth. They discounted that word journalist.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like.
I agree.
So also, let's see. Wow, look at these statements and the add-on to them. You know, again, there's so much that's come up.
I haven't seen any of this yet. This is like,
oh, it's candy. It's candy.
God, I didn't know. I had no clue she was doing this. Like, I don't pay attention to Facebook. I guess I need to.
Shara got my attention when she started, talking about. She wasn't making, like, she would make statements and request things like FOIA, and then there was some back and forth, that were fun and I would talk about, but I hadn't really, like, this here. There's a lot of information in here that pertains to, I mean, there's some bombshells that drop in this stuff. I mean, she has been dropping bombshells for legitly that word.
Mm-hmm.
So my commentary to your public PR, BBB, 2 L's are lying about me again, while you all work to intimidate me into silence. I have not shared quote unquote privileged texts or any emails. What I shared recently was not privileged. It was from after I quit. I was not a party to any quote unquote privileged chat after I quit. And I've always been an independent journalist all along. So why did you control this? That's a good question. Why do you feel that you controlled her as an independent journalist?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that Bruce has a lot of problems with control. His own self-control and also wanting to control others, he has a problem with. And you can see it in his emails, like the way that he treated Randy's assistant. It's gross. He has control issues. He wants to control people around him, especially women. I get the feeling that he, just by the way he has targeted me and like left you alone, and then targeted Randy's assistant, who's also a woman, targeted Shara the way he's targeted her. I just get that feeling. I get that feeling that he has a negative opinion of women. That's the feeling I have.
I think there's some control issues for sure. Because she says, you never defined privilege, never presented any contract, and I feel tricked by what you did to me, and I feel intimidated and controlled by you. That's a heck of a line right there.
Intimidated and controlled. Yeah, that's... No, I don't like any of that. But I do feel like he was trying to do that to me too. He was trying to intimidate me to make me invite him on my show, and I refused to play. I said no. And I told him, you're threatening and intimidating me, and I want you to stop. Well, my bullshit meter is high. I'm from Chicago, okay? Like, my dad taught me at a very young age to bob and weave. You know what that means? You got to keep your head moving.
Yeah.
You never stay still.
Yeah,
and
like boxing.
You bob and weave. You bob and weave. That's like my dad's number 1 rule is get the money. Number two is don't forget rule number 1. But rule number 3 is bobbing and weaving. And my dad, being a Chicago raised boy himself, that's just one thing. Your head's always on a swivel. My bullshit meter is tuned too high. And I don't know. I felt him coming. Like the second I got the first communication from him, it was like, nope, absolutely not.
I didn't even notice his first one. Like, all this negativity and shit, it's funny because like I said, I had no communication with him. The first thing I noticed was him writing me about the, I believe it was the thumbnail one. And then I went back and I noticed there was another email. I mean, we get a lot of emails, and I missed one. So and that happens. If I noticed it, if I did indeed notice it, it was somebody wanting on the channel to give, whatever opinion on what's happening with What the Hells. You have people that do that. People do that all the time, and some people I appreciate. But I don't have a lot of guests on. Guest spots usually I reserve for interviews, or like, again, you and I, we're not guests, we're co-hosting. There's a big difference there, but I don't do a lot of guest appearances. But it was essentially, if I saw what he was asking for, have me on so I can tell whatever. And it's like, no.
One of the best ways to get me to say no, by the way, is to ask me in the first place. Like, if you're asking me to be on, generally I don't want to. If I want you on, I'll let you know. Like, if you do something interesting and I'm interested in it and I want to talk to you, I'll let you know and I'll invite you on. But for sure, if you're bugging me about it, like, yeah, no.
I actually might have been interested. Like, if you wouldn't have played a certain way on that and then validated my concerns with the way he went after Veteran Nation, I might have been interested in a discussion. But what I saw with Veteran Nation, that was bad faith, in my opinion. Again, he was like, hey, let me on. And then, you
then
see
he
what's happening.
And he goes and writes to YouTube to have him taken down. Yeah, that's bad faith. Real bad. And that totally solidified what I thought about him in the first place. Well, there's no chance I was going to say, yes, you can come on my show after that.
He also, he made the statement that unlike Tug or Megan or whomever, I can't remember exactly who all he threw in there, but he was, praising Veteran Nation for having him on, while also, behind the scenes trying to take his channel down. So, I mean, that's pretty jacked up. That behavior right there. I have no idea what a person like that might do on my channel. I'm not just talking about behind the scenes. They could do something.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a loose cannon. He's a loose cannon for sure. For sure. And now we've seen, now we're hearing Shara's experience. I've had my own experience, with this guy and his threats and the way he tries to intimidate and control things. And I think specifically he singled me out even harder than Larry or Tug, because he thinks that as a man, he can intimidate a woman much easier. I think that's why I've gotten more of his special attention than some of you.
I take some things like an implied threat when people are like, when they start, I always tell it's the same thing that like a Taylor Lorenz did. They don't refer to me as my channel name anymore. When they want to take a different tone, they start utilizing my real name. Like I'm somehow gonna, I'm gonna be like, oh no, my name. Oh my God, what will I do?
Oh no, he knows my name.
She says, I'm not on your legal team. I have no experience or education in law, so why did you do this? You do not own records I paid for. That's 100% true as well. She paid to get that. Many of us do. If they are public records,
and
nobody owns them.
Nobody owns them. But the person who paid for them, they literally do own those copies of them, and they're not obligated to give them to anyone. Yep. If you want your own public records, you can go and pay for them. But a journalist, let's say, who got public records, they don't owe them to you. They do not owe them to you at all. I've had this problem sometimes where, if I want to share records, I will. If records that I got through FOIA and I feel like sharing them, I will, but I don't have to. I don't have to feel to be in the sharing kind of spirit. If somebody I don't like asks me for some records that I have, I'm going to tell them to go pound sand.
Indeed.
Go ask for it yourself.
Indeed. There are people that I 100% will share whatever with, and like you said, there's the other side that I don't care if it was free and I ran across it. I wouldn't
Me either. They're like, nope.
Yep. Exactly.
Get it yourself. And she has the absolute right to either share or keep whatever records she wants, that she paid for, that she requested. And to my understanding, they were all records that she requested on her own inquiry. It wasn't directed by anybody else.
Yeah, well, the money's coming out of her pocket too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like she's dipping into his legal coffers or anything like that. I mean, she's out here.
Yeah, he's not paying for him.
Yeah, so I mean, why do you think he
how
controls
cheap
somebody?
is he? How cheap is he? He didn't hire her to actually put her on the legal team so that she would be obligated to keep privilege. And he didn't even pay for FOIA requests. So he can't ask for those either. Like, how cheap is this guy? Damn.
This does make me question, though. I think the question comes up of the PR team. Are they bound by some documentation then where they can't say specific things? Have they signed something that doesn't allow them? Because that's when things get really interesting too.
I doubt they have. I think they hate Jeremy Hales enough to do this without a contract, and I don't think that Bruce was smart enough to get anybody locked down. I will tell you this though, if those two want to turn on Bruce, I don't want to talk to him.
Ooh, man, well, if they do, oh Lord, oh man, I'd watch the fireworks. I'd report on it.
I will watch the fireworks, but I ain't talking to him. Nope.
I will. I'll watch it for sure.
I'll watch it, but you're not coming on my show to do that shit. Not after the hell you guys have tried to put us through. Absolutely not. You know what Shara never did? Shara never tried to hurt anybody. She never tried to hurt me. And no, words do not hurt me. For those of you who don't understand, you guys don't understand that words and barbs traded back and forth on social media don't hurt. Okay, we're all survivors of the playground. We understand how that works. But you start threatening my kids, my privacy, my family, saying things like you're going to go through my background, like you're going to dig up shit about me to embarrass or shame or harm me. You will never, there is no forgiveness for that. You don't come back from that. Nope.
That's so crazy, man. She says, you don't own the records I paid for and collected beginning a year before you crashed into my messenger or my interviews. So I was here a full year before you even popped in. And you never once requested any record from me until after I quit when an unrelated record was requested. I was not invited to this case for quote unquote fame. Your quote unquote PR statements are malice. Speaking of fame, does your team know the real reason you're here and what you said to me about my concerns for the child? Oh, wow. Let me read that again. Speaking of fame, does your team know the real reason you're here and what you said to me about my concerns for the child?
That's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
That's a
concerns for that makes it, man, I'm like, wow, what indeed was said. Concerns for a child are not privileged, and I stated my concerns all along. I have the right to my concerns after what I've heard. Your PR is expressing ongoing anger that began before you chose them. They appear as a quote-unquote hate channel obsessed with Jeremy and George, and their ongoing anger is concerning as they aim it at others, including me and anyone covering this public, high-profile story, as you call it.
Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's what, that was probably the biggest takeaway from the email that he sent us, or rather he sent that, what was it, Law 360 guy? He was telling him how big of a story this would be. I mean, that tells you that it's very much public interest, because he said, it's just a matter of time before this story is reported in mainstream legal media and likely even broader coverage by tech and internet media. There has never been a situation like it. Right there. That says that it's public interest. That is an admission of public interest, but you're not supposed to be interested.
We're doing something wrong by covering this highly interesting story that the public is interested in.
And it's going to get bigger and bigger. And everybody's going to be interested, Okay. The new accusations of me withholding my records and giving Jeremy information emoji from the start. I never gave him. Sounds like a quote unquote setup and is fully documented public defamation with malice that appears to be intentional harm. Yeah, saying that she's a plant, that is pretty bad stuff.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look at in comparison to what was said about James O'Keefe, which was not even as bad as this. It was just that their claim was that he was spreading misinformation. Sorry, but to me, that's a level below accusing someone of being a plant, a journalist, accusing a journalist of being a plant. That's bad. You better have evidence to back that up. And you know what? Discovery is a thing. And when discovery is taken from Shara and Jeremy, and there are no communications between either of them, then what are you going to do?
Well, it's going to be a big problem there. It sounds like a really big problem.
That's
a big oops.
Yeah,
Well,
do you have evidence? Do you have any evidence that she is passing any information to him? Do you have evidence of this? Because saying that that's what's happening, you're not going to get away with it just because you're saying, oh, that's my opinion. No, you're not. You're not. That is making people believe that Shara is doing something unethical. And that is as grounds for defamation. Sorry, but it is. And we just saw the appellate court ruling in the James O'Keefe case that backs that statement up.
You know, and when you flip it on the other side, I mean, we're talking about people that have referred to themselves as PR. They have said that they are the voice of. You know, these things are out there, 100% their words. So that is not making up anything. That is their wording. You know, people have clipped that. I mean, it's out there for everyone to see. They say also, she notes they are threatening, quote, many lawsuits to come. Yep, indeed. Many lawsuits to come as they defame and threaten and terrorize many. And your team is mocking the health of opposing again. All very concerning behavior. I have every right to publicly defend myself and correct your team's public defamation. That is true too. You know, they've tried to use the word privilege as a bludgeon. You know, she's a liar, this, that, and the other, while also saying legally you can't talk about this, while also not getting contracts. Whoopsie. I have every right to report this story as I see fit. And that was your instruction as well. That's fascinating. Did they tell her to report this as she sees fit?
If they did, that's a real problem.
That's a really big problem. I mean,
even if they didn't, it's still a problem because they invited a journalist in.
No, but it's kind of like the whole idea. Remember if you don't do this, then I won't sue you over the old videos. By the way, I'll keep all those old videos up.
Yeah,
remember that?
If you stop talking about this, you definitely won't be sued. But keep all your old videos up. That's fine. Yeah, very, very similar. I feel like I've seen this play before.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen that somewhere in my email. I also have the right to express my concerns regarding what I've collected in the case. I cover all sides of a story. And in this case, I was lied to. I see this case differently as a result. Yeah, that's what happens. If you feel like you've been lied to, you start to see it a lot differently. The purpose of what I report in this case is necessary truth due to growing concerns. I've never experienced anything like this. As of 3 months ago, I left this case due to multiple concerns, and I continue to cover it independently. Although I would say, after none of this was made public, she kept her mouth shut about concerns. She kept her mouth shut about her money issue, all of this stuff. She asked them behind the scenes, and they told her, she was told no, nothing would be done for her. You can't have your money back for that. Go ahead. She said, hey, I'm going to have to report this to GoFundMe. I'm going to talk about it essentially. And they ignored that. Okay. I've tried very hard, giving my heart, in this case, only to become a target as a result. And I take all the public and other threats and public shaming seriously. What happened to the quote-unquote interview about me that you were altering your PR promised? Wait. What happened to the interview about me that you were altering your PR promised and the privileged chats your PR promised? Was that another trick to provoke a reaction? So is she saying there that they were going to show something? I'm thrown off by that sentence there.
Yeah. And the privilege, was that another trick to provoke a reaction?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is about Lynette, because Lynette was supposed to do the interview with them, and it was supposed to be about Shara.
Uh-huh.
And it just never showed up. And you know what's interesting about that? If they were if the client herself was going to talk about these privileged chats, doesn't that break the privilege?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, most certainly. I wonder also, here's another thing. I keep wondering how many people have been invited into this quote unquote privilege circle. Like who all is part of the what the hell's media ecosystem? Like who is a knowing participant with those words versus somebody that's added on? See, again, I'm not making any claims on that. There were certain names that were brought up in that message.
Mm-hmm.
But no wonder. The purpose of this comment is for documentation of my concerns. Jeremy is not doing this. Your team is scaring me. Your team is causing me ongoing fear and sickness. More than unethical, very concerning. Man, I'm rolling through. I see commentary,
the
mic was indeed dropped.
Yeah.
Somebody said.
That's funny.
I love BBB though.
When you get a second, check the private chat too.
Okay, give me a minute.
But yeah, I agree with this person, Amanda, who says they're really, really scared of you and what you know. I agree with this. This is why they're behaving the way that they're behaving.
Yeah. By the way, I want to note this. You put in a new rule with your channel. I thought was a good one.
Yes, I did.
So I think I'll actually note this. Yes, if we are live streaming and people are advertising on their live streams and stuff, that is a timeout or an issue. You continue to do that is a bannable problem. So, and I'm not talking about something coming up in the future. I'm talking about, people sending in accounts to try to derail and other things. Yeah, no.
That's been going on a lot. There's just been a lot of trolling.
It's been a lot. Well, it's been a lot of it.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't want to hear about what other live streams are doing currently while we're live. That's no.
Yeah, well,
bad idea.
It also, like I said, people send clips and other things that they do that, and that's enough, because I'm not keeping up with the play-by-play. No, I'm looking at what's happening right here, and there's exchanges going on very publicly that are calling out Shara very publicly, and she's responding to those very publicly. So that's my involvement with that, and again, when they respond to this stuff, like I said, I am curious, like the involvement. Again, two-pronged question. I'm curious about number one, the what the hell's media ecosystem, putting all of that together again with a lawyer that is saying that they're going to build that represents somebody and they name other folks. I mean, again, that gets into some legal problems. That's where you go. So that would be a curious, like, what do people think about being added to that? And also, I'm curious about who has actually signed documentation or has been presented that they're not allowed to talk about things because certain things fall under quote unquote privilege. Since that is being brought up and people are having a finger pointed at them and told, hey, you've been brought into this privileged stuff. Really? Well, who else is part of that then? Because that does impact the way that you report on things, doesn't it?
You would think.
Yeah, it would seem to. But anyway, BBB. What did your client tell me at the very start? A year before you came crashing in, that she met Jeremy because he happened to be riding past the property on his green tractor. No mention of her contacting him and asking him to come help her.
Oh, now this is interesting.
Yeah. So she's like, wait a minute.
So this to me means that Lynette did not want Shara to know that she was aware of Jeremy there. She wanted it to look like an accident that she ran into him. When in reality, she followed him there. She knew where he was because she was watching his program, knew that he was in Florida, and then contacted him when she knew he was there to come and to test and see if he would show up and take the tree down like he said. But she misled Shara to believe that he was just driving by, and she flagged him down? Did she stand out in the road and just like on Dead Dog Road or whatever? And she's like, hello, Mr. Man in a truck. Do you happen to have a tractor? I mean, that would be ridiculous.
What? Okay.
What?
So there was this statement here, you know, they're taking commentary back. You know, this here, it's actually, I'm going to blow it up. I'll have to roll back down to where I'm at. So let me mark this. Okay. Let me see the Super D gem. All right. Cause when I blow this up, you know, it'll screw up where I'm at. I'll have to roll back down. Short is a germ name for a new friend, not ours. Oh, but they had now, you know, I thought they were all buddies and pals. And then they start calling her Short and all these other things. Again, that's fascinating, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they actually have.
Fascinating.
I know you came into the game late, but you need to vet your stuff. Learn
They're
how.
always saying that. God dang it. Who's
the
Fife?
best time you missed referred to a legal team member.
Who are they calling Fife? Hey, Fife?
They're probably
Fife?
responding to a person. They're responding to someone in a
comment.
Oh,
I see. It's just somebody in their comments. Okay.
Yeah. But Shara, it was responded to this, and I was like, huh, you know. I think that's your golden egg is no way creating fear. It's laughable. I have what she dirty deleted before she did. Imagine what she's not telling you. You know, again, they play that game a lot too, don't they? Imagine what's not being. Let me roll back down. Oh, there's so much here.
Of course, if they had that evidence, they would have dropped it already. So, like, if they had her saying something terrible in the same chat that she just dropped, what would stop them from dropping it? They just want you to think there's something bad there, but I don't think there is.
If Shara, if you're convinced people are the baddies and the enemy and they said something, okay, well, here's the thing. You can dislike this person. You can never trust them and all. That's fine. Don't like anybody if you don't want to. Heck, you know, you ain't got to like any of us. The thing is, look at what's being discussed here. Like, look at what's being talked about. Yeah. And you're seeing proof of that because what you're looking at is wild. Like Bruce said in his email to that 360 Law, never seen anything like. There's never been anything like that, and it is wild to see lawfare. It's wild to see people behind the scenes trying to take down a channel for sure that they were on the same video they're trying to take down. They were on it and trying to take down the channel itself. On top of that, again, they're admittedly trying to take out a person's YouTube that's discussed in one of those statements by a client. I mean, oh my God, so much stuff. Now, Shara noted, now this one is a Super D gem. Yes, indeed. Receipts. I have one question. Who did you make a quote unquote package deal with that I was not privy to? Was it in those special emails of excitement you referred to? Let's see what this is here. So just for the record, I wasn't really excited to have the award-winning singer on my channel. It was kind of a package deal. Which, by the way, the emails exchange, she was excited for.
No, it says she was very excited.
Very excited for it.
Now, let's make sure.
My
Don't
bad.
miss
Very.
words. Very.
Yes. She was very excited for.
Very, very excited.
Very. Actually, it's capitalized. Very excited for.
Very excited.
Yeah, and she's like, you know, who did you make a package deal with that I was not privy to? And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. So in order for her to be on, like other people, she's like, what was that package deal exactly? You know, because she said, yeah, she's talking about that interview she did.
Yeah, nobody told her about this alleged package deal. So who's making deals behind the scenes, trafficking Shara like a piece of meat? They're like, okay, I'll give you Shara with with 2 nights of Bruce on the side.
With 3 helpings of Bruce.
I do not like this. I do not like where this is going. Oh, what do you mean? She was included in a package deal without her consent? I don't like the way this sounds. This sounds like something that would happen in Eastern Europe, if you ask me.
Oh, let's see.
With a side of Shara and what?
And again, like I said, this isn't.
Did you read the other part of that? Because there was more.
There was a comment from somebody down at the bottom, is what it was, telling them to.
That wasn't from Dave. I thought that was.
No, that was somebody else. It was saying, "Hey, keep those receipts." Yes, I'll agree that it was the most.
I wanted to say that. Yes. Okay. So that was important because he's saying that he has this behind the scenes recorded thing pre-show where actually read that because it's.
Yeah, I'm going to read. Listen to this whole statement.
It's funny.
Yes, I'll agree that it is the most hated video on your channel because she flip-flopped so many times and has zero credibility. Wait, so she flip-flopped? Are they saying that she had some issues and she didn't 100% say someone was good or bad? How does that work? At the time of your interview with Shara was when I was first starting to question JH's motives and past. I was still on the fence, concerned with him at that point, but I wasn't on the fence about Shara. If she really has all this bombshell evidence that could, quote unquote, save a child in danger, then why hasn't she went to the authorities? She actually made a statement about that. She didn't say that she had all this bombshell evidence that would save a child. She said she had concerns, and she said those concerns were addressed by.
She said they were investigated. And actually, she did not say how that happened. She did not say if she was the one who made a call. She did not. And so we don't know. But we do know that she said those concerns specifically were investigated and CPS came up and said it was fine. So she decided at the time to trust that. But then other things happened that make her believe that it is not fine.
Well, she said she missed things, you know, she missed things in that audio and she missed things in the neighbor, a different neighbor dispute, by the way, because apparently
things in private communications between her and Jamie Johnson that she went back over recently and found. And I believe we're going to see those soon.
I'm just like, man, how many, like my neighbors, in the past, you know, in places I've lived, I have had a bad neighbor here or there, but I've never been at war with like all of my neighbors.
That's because you don't live in Levy County. Don't go there. Levy County is like the capital of bad neighbors. You know, there's a show. I think there's like either a YouTube show or a show on Netflix, but it's called Bad Neighbors. And they do this in fact, I believe they contacted Jeremy. I think they did to do this story. I think they may have contacted him at some point. But at the time he didn't want to do it, I don't think. And this is that they have an entire TV show about this. Just about people and their disputes with neighbors. And also
just bad neighbors.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and you type in bad neighbors, you will get tons of home footage and surveillance footage of their weird neighbors. I fell down a rabbit hole of this one YouTube channel that was documenting their bad, weird neighbors. And oh my God, these poor people, their neighbors had been like killing their plants, pouring poison over the fence, taking down,
Lord.
killing the trees. They spent thousands of dollars to grow these giant, beautiful pines, and they were poisoning them. Oh, Jeremy's in the chat. He says they contacted me again this week. They want the story. Yeah, they should.
Yeah, they should, man. This is the
They should.
craziest
Give it
story
to
ever.
them, for God's sake.
The one thing I do agree with out of anything, like what Bruce said, this story will get big. Yes, like eyes fall on this. This is an insane story, but the thing is, it's already big. Like it isn't tiny. It's just not mainstreamed yet, and
Not
that's
yet.
been the
But it will
that's
be.
been the push. Yeah, they're trying to mainstream it, and it's wild.
It'll get there. It'll get there eventually, because this has not shown any signs of slowing down, and we have so many elements in this story that put together are going to turn into a tsunami. And from the bad judge with the writ of prohibition that never happens, getting kicked off the case, to now that same judge being the one that other people connected to the story have to go in front of. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, it's coalescing to become a big giant nuclear bomb, and it's going to happen.
It has so many layers. Like every time I think, okay, I've understood. I understand all the layers that are happening. Something else just falls apart.
No, you don't.
Look, I have to say too. Like tonight, I was like, I told Megan, we're going to go over the Jamie Johnson stuff. Then I started looking at what Shara had posted. I was like, oh my God, like this isn't just like random statements here. It's not drilling the same info or anything. She's answering questions that have been asked publicly, and the threat's there. Again, it's very much a threat. You better not talk about that. That's privileged info. That's being posted publicly. And she's like, well, no. Here's the
you know what else? Also, I'd like to remind you out there, everybody listening in the chat, if you appreciate what Shara is doing here, then make sure you let her know that you support her in what she's doing. Because if you think that she's doing this and she's not scared, you're wrong. Because she's been threatened. She's a person who feels very alone in this. Think about what it must be like to be Shara in her position. Shara has been hated by both sides in this, which frankly, in my opinion, is a good place to be, because it shows me that, and it tells me that there's an independent mind here. But she feels very alone. She doesn't have friends on either side. Of course, she's got me and she's got Tug, because we're not going to let this kind of crap stop. Start. We're not going to let them do this to her. We're not going to let them silence her.
Not even that. Okay, if Shara was out here and she just wants to legitimately report and has an opinion on it, she can have her opinion. She can have back and forths. Like all that stuff was happening. Nobody was trying to shut her down. Like we would laugh at some of the stuff that was up there. We'd do that. Never once tried to shut her down. In fact, hell, I'd be like, next time on the Shara tweets, I mean,
right, because it was fun. And also, she has an absolute right to have her opinion on whatever's going on, and she has that. But we cannot allow someone to be intimidated into silence. We've always believed in the truth here. We want to know what's really going on. So if you guys can drop her a word of encouragement, that's all. Just drop her. I'm not asking you to do anything else, but drop her a word of encouragement, because I know she's struggling.
Can't people see the problem in this too? Like, it's not just that, it's the answer to it. Okay, here's some truth about what's really happening, going on behind the scenes. Here's the plotting and more. What's the response to that? Oh man, background checks, dumping personal info. What the fuck, dude? Like, that is a real problem. That is beyond messed up. That's not an opinion on a case. That's not talking about what's going on. That's about, again, trying to force somebody into silence. And Shara, off of that post, that we brought up earlier, the one talking about, privilege, that community post, she asked, how is your cussing, slandering, threatening PR team legally advising me in writing? Did you deputize her too? would that make her more than your PR? And that is a good question, actually. You know, she answers this too. They're like, they keep sending items that can be used against them in the future, unless you have a contract and with them in writing. It's all hearsay. Keep sending evidence, telling them to. And she straight up is like, there's no contract.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like a hurricane.
Oh, she needs the encouragement, you guys. She needs to know that people are out there that are gonna support what she's doing and encourage her to just keep dropping it, because they are. I mean, look, the chances of Bruce suing her, or us for that matter, are pretty high. He has successfully chased a bunch of people off of this story through threats of intimidation and threats of lawsuits. But he hasn't been able to, that hasn't worked with us. So I fully expect that he will file more suits.
I wonder about that, because here's the thing. There's 2 lawsuits that his client is tangled in lawsuits right now. And as part of that, there are 2 lawsuits that, in my firm belief, they're vexatious litigation. You know, we have, again, Trespass 5.
Trespass 5, the invasion.
Yeah, look how that was described. That's insane. And the thumbnail litigation, telling people, you can't cover this, but other people can cover this, and other people can use this, but not you.
But not you. Yeah.
I mean, that's garbage. And when that stuff pulls in losses, then more litigation, you start filing other lawsuits against people. Man, that can really cause you problems. So as much as there's threats of it, I do wonder. That's a real statement on the person themselves there, because they've got to know, like, as far as standing, you know, they should be focusing on that federal case, because that federal case, more and more, it keeps getting, the picture keeps getting clearer. You know, more keeps getting added to it. And
speaking of clearer, look at this. So apparently you're Fife. You're Fife.
Me?
Yeah, you're Fife.
What does that mean? like I'm another account?
No, they're calling you Barney Fife.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was you. That was to you, whatever that message was.
Oh my God.
They're calling you Barney Fife.
Welcome to Mayberry, baby.
Oh God.
I wish I could be like skinny like him, like totally like Barney.
Wait,
I wonder if I could get Barney Fife with a tug mask.
Punk. We need Dead Punk on this.
Yeah, I want a specific, like, I want a shocked Barney Fife. Oh, here's one.
Here,
This is the one
I found it. I found one.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah.
Find the same one I did.
Oh, probably. Let me pull this one up real quick. This is the one I want. If I'm going to get one, I want that one. Oh my God.
Wait, I might have a better one. I might actually have a better one. I mean, I think I may have found a better one. Dead Punk, are you listening?
Wait. If this is Mayberry, are they the fat drunk that have to put in jail all the time?
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna die. I'm choking. My throat is closing up.
Oh, shit. That's funny as shit.
Oh, I'm getting a headache. The chat is dying because they've been trying to tell us this for hours.
Oh my God. I gotta change my name. Sorry. I haven't been reading. I've been reading so much. I gotta change my name. Let's see.
I can't stop laughing at the comments.
Let's see. I'm gonna be that umbrella Fife.
I am press master. I am also crying. Tears,
my
literal
God.
tears.
It's hurting inside.
How did we miss this? How did
Holy
we miss
shit.
this? Dead Punk, where are you? We need you.
Oh
We
my
need you.
God.
Tug Fife. Tug Fife.
That
Instead of
umbrella
Tug Life,
means to me.
it's Tug
Oh,
Fife.
Tug Fife. Oh my God. I'm gonna make a shirt of that.
Tug
That
Fife.
umbrella Fife. You live in the Tug Fife, baby.
Oh my God, I'm giving myself a headache. I swear to God, my throat's closing up. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Oh my God.
I
That's
can't
too
laugh
funny.
anymore.
Oh shit.
No. Oh, that hurts. It hurts to laugh. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts so bad.
You know what's sad is like Barney does have
TUF! Look at Jenna's.
Oh shit.
My head's gonna
Oh my
explode.
God.
I can't stop
There's gonna be
it.
some great memes out of that.
Tough thugs. Tough thugs.
Well, guess what, Chad? I deputize you. Man, I'm gonna have to have a new song called Mayberry.
I cannot.
Welcome to Mayberry, mother.
Oh my God, this is so funny. This is so freaking funny.
Oh, that is good times. That is fun times.
Legal vices. My Megan died. My Megan didn't die.
I was making myself a note of it.
I feel like I'm dying. Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
Someone sent Dead Punk the message. Thank God. We sent the Dead Punk signal out.
Oh my God. Yes, calling all dead punks. Calling all dead punks.
Calling all dead punks. We have an emergency situation. I now have to massage the jaw muscles because they were in such a state of like now I have like this is getting old. My face is cramping. My face is cramping. I now need to go to the massage therapist so she can loosen the jaw now because the jaw is like locking.
You know the problem with these like that's funny. I think it's funny. Like they can't roll with anything that's funny. You know, it's like shit, man.
Oh, they think they're upsetting you.
That umbrella Fife, holy shit, man! I'll turn that into a fucking shirt and market it.
I think the best part is that we were like, "Who's Fife?"
I thought it was a fucking commenter or something. You know.
Legal vices. Does this make Megan and B? Oh, stop it! Stop it, chat. My jaw cannot take this. That's what she said. All right.
Let me see.
I'm in serious pain. You people have no empathy for me. You keep making jokes and you keep making me laugh. And I'm telling you, I'm going to break my jaw on the right side.
Yes.
It's just
Let me actually. So, you know, I guess since this has been pulled up, I'm going to. You remember that interview that we had with Legal Vices? Yeah, it went like this, you know. There's Legal Vices sitting there. I put on my best.
I hate you right now. I hate you. I can't smile anymore.
My God, how dare this site cut a copyrighted picture of me?
I'm gonna use the face roller on my cheek muscles. This is terrible. God. I've got my little Japanese face roller thing now.
Oh man. I need to rock a bow tie. That'd be awesome. Oh shit!
I have to take this picture of Barney Fife down. It's staring at me on my other screen, and it's making me laugh every time I look at it. All right, goodbye, Barney. We have to. We're professionals.
See, that should be how like online stuff goes. It should be fucking funny and stuff. You know, it's so like I said, I'm gonna fucking dox and I mean, come on,
Yeah, like
man.
who does
What
that?
the-
Who's like, well, he called me Barney Fife, so I'm gonna dig into all of your family now.
I mean,
and
really? What
I'm
the
gonna do a
fuck?
background check on you and boy,
I mean, that's
are
the way
you
these
gonna
people
be
act,
sorry.
though.
I know.
You drop one stick of butter in the chips.
Damn you.
Oh shit! It's like a fucking. I'm imagining it like you know how E.T. was attracted to Reese's Pieces.
Yes.
Oh god.
Laughter might be the best medicine, but it's not really helping my jaw
It's
right
not,
now.
sometimes it's not the best medicine. When I've had sinus problems, I'm cough up a lung over here. You know? I say that as I smoke a cigar. I'm like,
Oh,
at least I'll mute the mic when I'm doing that.
I'm having a Charlie horse in my face. That's what's happening. I have a Charlie horse
in
my
your face, Megan.
In your face. Oh
Oh
my god.
oh shit! Well, we haven't. I want to see what this.
Welcome to Mayberry, Mother Fifers.
Mother Pfeiffer.
You Mother Pfeiffer.
Uh,
Okay, I can't read the chat. Shut up, chat. Stop it.
I wanted to see what that. Give me a moment to look at that. That clip that Shara put up. I was trying to see what I was like. Well, this is the perfect time while we're still trying to catch our breath.
Oh yeah, Tug is the Mother Pfeiffer. Yep, that's right.
Mother Pfeiffer.
Wait, where's my button?
Fife?
Where's my button?
If you ran your mouth like that in real life to me, I will beat you with a
Mother
fucking
Fife and hammer.
Mother Fife.
Mother Fife.
I'll beat you with a fifing.
I'll beat you with a Fife and hammer. Oh God.
God. Oh, I can't wait for the. I can't wait. Let me see if anybody's seen me a picture or anything.
Mary's.
Oh my God. I think we've broken. By the way, I'm checking my messages. See if anybody sent a picture of it yet.
Pfeiffer, Fiverr, OMG.
Oh,
I'm gonna have
awesome.
a heart attack. This is it. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
God.
I will have died from laughing. And you know what? It's not a bad way to go. I'll take it. But I'm starting to get pains in my chest. Oh, I have to stop.
Okay. I'm a professional. I'm a professional law enforcement officer.
Okay, I have to stop.
Okay, I've got to. Okay, deep breath.
Deep breaths.
Deep breaths process.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Do not start singing in that voice. Put you in the fifing hat rack. Oh God, you people really hate me. You do. You dislike me. I am in pain and you just won't stop.
Oh my God. I'm down thinking about that song, you know, for all the whistling. Okay. If we could add bass to that, that'd be awesome. It's gonna be like dong 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 dong. Right around town rocking that.
Oh, you know who we need? We need DJ Radis on that. I have a feeling that DJ Radis can rock that. I think he could come up with it.
That's amazing. That's so funny. Okay. I made sure
Stop laughing. You know, you start laughing, then I start laughing.
I'm trying.
It's a whole
I'm trying.
chain
I got tears in my
events.
eyes.
I know.
Tears in my eyes.
I
I
have
got
rolling
this
down
side
my
eye,
cheek.
man.
I have tears soaking into my leg warmers. God dang it, Tug.
This is the 1980s. What's going on?
I am totally wearing leg warmers right now. I am not kidding you.
Okay, so the comment here that she marked is someone saying that looks like somebody's, that has caused themselves some legal problems. There's legal liability, but it's just a commenter. So she's like, what is this BBB? What emails? What quote unquote legal liability? I'm sure. Hit me again.
What?
That 5 thing is hit me again. Oh, shit, okay.
I'm trying not to look at the chat because they are still going because
Oh my
they are
God.
very
That's what
disobedient.
I looked at the chat.
I am
damn
pleading
well.
the fife.
I'm pleading the fife, and that would be amazing. I need a shirt that says that. They need that. Oh God, I need like I need a Barney freaking avatar holding up a sign that says I'm pleading the fife. Yes. Oh my God. It'd be really funny though is selling merchandise and doing that successfully. That'll really make some people mad. That's the best insult. You're like, hell yeah, I'll take that. I'll market that. I'll rock that all day. Okay.
Fife around and find out.
Yes. How dare you insult my fiefdom?
My fiefdom. Oh God.
Okay. I'm strictly law-abiding always. I have not shared privilege, nor am I part of any privilege since August. Why is your PR falsely claiming I am posting in some page anonymously while threatening me about privileged emails? When did that happen, by the way? Did they claim that she was anonymously using accounts?
I don't know. I was reading the chat.
She said, like, it notes that why is your PR falsely claiming I'm posted in I'm posting in some page anonymously.
Oh, I know what she's saying here. She's basically saying they're accusing her of posting somewhere anonymously.
Yeah.
But she thinks they're setting her up. That someone is pretending to be her posting somewhere else anonymously. Yeah.
That's totally messed up. I mean, she's been pretty public about her posts, so it's not like she's had any issue with making her voice known. So your PR's public false accusations sound like a setup, and that's a crime. A lawyer should know this. What page? I'm doing no such thing. Video dated November 12th, 2024. That kept me up all night sick. I'm documenting this here publicly, as well as with an attorney and law enforcement. Huh.
She's not screwing around.
Yeah, she's talking to law enforcement. Well, she says she's afraid. I mean, she should be done. Man, I don't think I can cover all these tonight. There's too much. Man, I can't cover all these tonight. There's going to be too much. This is going to be another live stream. Look at this.
Look at how many. My God.
Holy shit. There's no way we're going to get all this tonight.
Are we really at 2.5 hours already?
Yeah, well, I think we call it here and we continue this,
You got to get through super chats too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'll Chad, are you okay with that? Because I think we've had I run this fiefdom.
Stop it. I'm just calming down. Don't get me started again. Oh
my God.
I'm starring all the best Fife comments, so you're gonna have to read them at the end.
I hope there's some good ones in there.
There are some great ones that I haven't.
Okay, star some, and when they come up at the end,
I am.
Let's do some super chats here.
Okay.
Susan Dolan. What's up, Susan, by the way? How are you doing? Thanks for the 31 months. Haven't been watching much lately. Idiot phone. It just remind my royally. When I do catch you, I try my best as a loyal wrench. Love to the kids, Slug and Bug. Well, thank you that way. And again, if people are wrenches here, I appreciate what you do. Again, mods. I talked about the only thing I've had, and again, I love mods when I say this. There's been some fighting back and forth, and that has been, I think, calming down. So I appreciate that because yeah, nobody has to like each other, but and if you want to argue with other people too, if you don't want to be a mod, like hit me up and we remove that. You argued all day long, with each other. But
Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Just not with the wrench. Yeah.
well, and it lets people like block you in the chat, that way they don't
Right.
have to fight with you. If they want to argue with you, they can.
Right.
But yeah.
Right.
Sticky Widget, what's up, Sticky? Thanks for the 5. Tug and Megan, did you see the Otter Man and the Turtle Kid I sent you? I must have missed that.
When was that?
I guess
yesterday,
you know what?
I
probably.
still haven't gone. I have not gone through my emails from yesterday, so it's probably sitting there.
Yeah.
I was busy today, so I didn't go through
That's
my
me.
emails.
I had a crazy day, so yeah, I apologize. I've also I can't talk about all the details to it, but I have a friend online that there is a case. Well, there's potentially a case, but even if it doesn't become a case, there's something you and I will need to cover. This person that is independent media as well. They covered a story where actually they covered a documentary where somebody their bad behaviors had been documented in it, and because of that person has been targeting to the point that they've targeted their business and everything. It's just insanity, all because they went through and they looked at a documentary that was available online and did a review of it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but no, I'll look for those, Sticky. I apologize. It's just been a wild day, Dirt of hurdles. Thank you. Turd of hurdles instead of herd of turtles.
I love Turd of hurdles. I love that name.
Yeah. Thanks for the 6 there. Got my shirts today. I bleed the 5th. Awesome.
Nice.
Yes.
Well,
By
now
the
we
way-
need new ones that say I plead the fife. So
Yes, indeed. If you would like to plead the fife too. Oh, I still love the Game of Thrones. that one is a favorite of mine too. So again, if you like those or if you want to check out some stuff, thatumbrellaguy.com is the way to go. John, thanks for the 5. Kids, right? She's like a little strawberry shortcake. Indeed. And I pulled that up earlier, but indeed, man, the 80s are back. She Hunts. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you. She Hunts. Like that. John, thanks for that. I thought Teddy Ruxpin was kind of creepy. My buddy thing was like, I'll be your friend till the end. Yes, just like Chucky. That's what it reminded me of. And also, John noted this. Only the richest kids that I envied had the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. That thing was like over $100 back when that meant something. Yeah, it was. It was like $100 and something. And, that was, unless you had, that was a time when action figures cost $1.99. So having a toy that cost $100 was insane.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. There was a toy
Which, if you think about it, charging the $300 for the tank or whatever, that's about right. $300 in today's money is like $100 in 1986.
Oh, that thing too is beautiful. I mean, it's not even comparable to one day I might take a video of it just to be like, look at this masterpiece. That was my Christmas present to myself. I bought it and waited a year for the thing to get here because it was, they, when they get into their high dollar stuff, Hasbro now, they'll do crowdfunding for the high dollar stuff and they'll add on, you know how you have like stretch goals, they'll add on stretch goals. They'll be like, yeah, you get this, but if 15,000 people buy it, you get 3 figures with it, you get all this add-ons and it gets crazy. So, but yeah, $100 when I was a kid. You remember that movie Clash of the Titans?
Yes.
So they had toys of that. And one of the big toys, the big monster, the Gorgon that destroyed, they made a toy of it. And I always wanted that, but it cost $100. And, we're talking about a time when people were making like $3 an hour for minimum wage.
For real.
So,
for real. Yeah.
That'd be a week of work.
$100 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's
so
sick.
I never
went
got
to the
it.
Grocery store today and I bought 2 bags of groceries, no meat, $150.
Yeah, the last time I went to the grocery store, we spent $45. I went to Walmart, unfortunately. That was my mistake too. But I had to pick up some school related stuff. I spent $45 of this was on school, but it cost me $362. So I was like, oh, what
Jeez.
pain. Yeah. And it was necessary. And some of it, again, we're not talking about like getting crazy with stuff. There are certain things that you have to buy name brand because their cost cutter stuff is disgusting. But if I can cut corners on it and buy something, I do. And even then, Don, and thank you for the 2 there. There's no statement attached, but there is a big statement in backing. Thank you. Terry, thank you for that membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership. Welcome to Doug's Thugs. Welcome to Mayberry, mother.
Welcome to Mayberry.
I have to start doing that.
Welcome to Mayberry is right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I forgot. I got to cue up your little goose sound. I forgot where it went. I got to find it.
Here's some Toys R Us saying Vanessa thinks with that. They got the best for so much less and really flip your lid from bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store
there is. Gee whiz, I don't want to grow up because baby, if I did, then I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. That's it. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, good times. Good times.
Carol, thanks for the 5. Man, I thought it was that I was tired of being an adult. Well, you do. It's some of it. It's that wanting to go back to simpler times, that feeling of being a kid, and also claiming all the things that you did have then, and maybe some of the things you didn't. You get to that point. Understandable.
Right. Because now you might be able to buy that thing that you couldn't have then and enjoy it even enjoy it now as an adult. I know my husband always wanted the what's the big ship in Star Wars? I never remember what it's called. The big
Enterprise.
One.
The Enterprise.
That's Star Trek.
Oh, I thought you said Star Trek.
Star Wars.
Star Trek. Oh, you talking about the Death Star?
No, the other one.
Are you talking about Star Destroyer?
No, the one that the one that Han
Millennium
Solo,
Falcon. The Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon. He always wanted that.
I thought you said Star Trek at first. That was like
Star Wars. He always wanted the Millennium Falcon, but it was like really expensive, and even back then it was like $300 or something. And so recently, because we have so many Legos, because my husband buys them for my son, and they're addicted, and now I'm addicted, so it's just a whole Lego disaster here in this house. Well, he decided, because you can go on the Lego website and you can get any instructions for anything. So he got the instructions for the original Millennium Falcon and he started building it. And
that's awesome.
I know. And he's got the whole base of it done. So you can see the scale of it at this point. He's only had to order a couple of things that we don't have so far. And like he's going to build it.
Deflector dishes and stuff. Yeah, you should be able to.
He's going to build it.
That's awesome to make your own too.
Yeah, he's building it, and it's really I love watching him do it because I know how happy it makes him. He always wanted it,
Yeah, there's passion project there.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with going and getting that thing you always wanted when you were a kid.
Jamie here brings up a good one. GPK cards. You know what those are? Yeah, can you recognize them? Garbage Pail Kids.
Pail Kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Grabber keeper. My 6th grade teacher took mine and never gave back. Oh, I hate crap. When I was a kid, I had a G.I. Joe Zartan, changed colors, and a bunch of little bully kids grabbed him and threw him, and he would change colors, and I couldn't find him out on the school lawn, and then a mower ran him over.
Oh, that's awful.
And we would pose, so I couldn't replace him. I was like,
oh, that stinks.
Oh, I remember.
Who gave it to you?
Oh, my grandma. My grandma did too. My grandma like saved up and got what a bunch of assholes.
What a bunch of assholes.
Oh, man. Dusty, thanks for the 2 there. Yeah, no statement, but plenty of statement. Thank you. Appreciate your backing there. K-Rab, 30 months. Thank you there. Toys like Disney videos every 7 years is a new generation, therefore a new market. They can resell the big sellers. I was a Toys R Us parent, LOL. Yeah, I mean, but it's interesting, like how well that works, the introduction. Like some, they try it with certain things, it doesn't, but you have, for boys, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, they've destroyed. Honestly, Disney has done such a mess of that. But with girls now, again, Care Bears, My Little Pony. I don't know. It's Rainbow Bright. My kids pulled out the Rainbow Bright stuff, but I don't
God,
know.
I loved Rainbow Bright. I had that doll. That was a really fun doll. It was so brightly colored and like wearing those rainbow tights and the pigtails, that bright red hair. I loved Rainbow
What are
Bright.
those little fuzz balls that run around with her? I've got a couple of those
Oh
stuffed ones.
yeah.
I don't remember
What
what they're
were
called.
those? I don't remember what they were called either, but I loved that cartoon. I loved everything about Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, my kids, they liked it, but I was like, did they just like the toy and pull it out?
Yeah, I don't know. There was that cartoon too.
Yeah, it used to come on back in. I was trying to describe this to my kids. I was like, back in the day, you only had a few channels, and there was a block of cartoons. They come on Saturdays, and then from there, as you got older, they started coming on in the afternoon after school. They lock you into certain channels that way, but you would get like a G.I. Joe, and then after that, you'd have like the Gummy Bears, and all those cartoons would mix together. So that's why I like Rainbow Bright and all of that. Heck yeah, I know about Rainbow Bright and stuff. I'd sit down for any cartoon block and watch it. John, hey, what's up, John? By the way, so I had gifted 10 memberships here. Also gifted more later on. Thank you, John. Props to you. Props to your wife as well. I hope she is doing great too. Love you guys. Wendy, thanks for the 5 there. Super elastic bubble plastic, but my favorite was any type of art supplies. Yeah, I like some of the weird art supply, like some of the weird making items you could have. They don't do a lot of that either. They started remaking stretchable figures. I noticed Sonic, they have stretchable figures. My littlest one though, if you give her one, she takes it more as a challenge. She's like, I can rip its arms off.
Remember Stretch Armstrong?
Yeah.
I can tell you what's inside that. You just had to find out. I mean, there was just no way around that.
Yeah, it was a challenge, like I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was blue. I remember that. Whatever was inside it was this blue gummy stuff.
Let's see. SF, thanks for the 2. Tug, it did more to save Star Wars than Disney. Man, I loved it when I was a kid. Man, I got my AT-AT across the, I'm sorry, AT-AT. I know people get mad if I call it an AT-AT sometimes. They're like, you call it ATST. So it wasn't an AT-AT. So I got my AT-AT. I'm going to say it anyway. I got my ATST, my chicken leg sitting across from me. I've got a bunch of vehicles still sitting in here. Laura B, thanks for the 249. The chat too. Yeah, I didn't slow it down. Again, Mons, I appreciate you all. I just, I didn't. I got distracted afterwards. So it didn't seem really fast on there.
I think it slowed down at some point.
Yeah. Well, sometimes like I'll look at it and the chat it won't have a delay because of the people talking or something. It'll just, YouTube is weird sometimes, and it speeds it up and slows it down on its own. So I don't know what's going on with that. Sarah, rather. I said Sarah. Sarah, thanks for the 5. My older sister and I got an Easy Bake Oven for Christmas. We didn't even get to use it because our cousin put a rubber egg in it. Horrible smell. No.
Oh.
I was wanting one of those. I was like, man, if I could get one of those, I could make my own brownies.
The crap that you made in those was so gross tasting. Like you wouldn't have liked it.
But that was like when nobody really had microwaves or anything. So
right.
It was like, oh my God, I can make myself something.
I can cook with a light bulb, and it took like 45 minutes. Like it wasn't fast.
Yeah, you were cooking with a light bulb. That's exactly what it was.
Literally a light bulb, and like you just stick it in there and like just leave it for like 45 minutes. I was not a fan. I think I tried one thing once in that thing, and I was like, nope. But what I did like was the baby dolls that you could change the diaper and they would wet themselves. Like, well, I can't remember what they were called. There was a specific name, but I loved playing with baby dolls, and that made it so much more real. That you had to change a wet diaper and the whole thing. That was so funny. Yeah. I loved that.
God, God, I'd hate that.
Baby Alive. Yes, that's what it
Oh
was
yeah,
called.
that sounds like a horror movie. Baby Alive, doesn't it?
Many
So
of our
creepy.
toys in the 80s could have been turned into
They
horror
could
movies.
have, you know.
What about that glowworm shit? Remember the
Oh man, hey, I've got a
glowworm?
glowworm. Yeah, you know they tried to remarket those. I don't know if it was successful, but I remember the glowworms. I got an old glowworm somewhere in the house. You know, he said I bought many people's like toy sets, and you just end up with all kinds of random shit. I bet Jeremy like comes across some awesome stuff. That's one of the storage unit things that's got to be awesome.
I bet he does.
So John, thanks for the 5. If the person whispering in your ear for years is the devil, then my wife is the devil.
Does she know that?
That's hilarious. Hey, Jackie, thanks for the 2. The Fleas have 1.5K. You're talking about subs. Is that correct? They
Is
have
that true?
1.5K. Then
That's
Shara needs 1.6.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I say, why not 2.6? That's what I say.
Actually, she's got to be close. I wonder where she's at right now. Like, man, I got to look real quick. Give me a second. I really want to know. Let me see. Man, YouTube is slow some days. Sure.
Today was weird too. There was like weird shit happening on
She's at
StreamYard.
1.54.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, so she keeps growing. Good. Hey, again, you know, her talking about, and she's doing this on her own. You know, again, I talked about, hey, people should subscribe, but that ain't me doing that. If she didn't have something to say and people weren't interested in it, they wouldn't go do it. You know, so I mean, 100%. She did that. She doesn't owe that. That's the beautiful thing about it. She doesn't owe BBB or any of these other peoples. You know, she doesn't owe Mayberry any taxes.
Oh God!
Right, chick. Thanks to the 5 months. You and Megan are next on the Butter Twin list. Oh no! Dun dun dun. Good luck to them. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh, General T has got something for you.
Oh my God. Well, are you gonna add
Are
that?
you?
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready for it.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Oh wait, move our pictures out of the way.
Give me a second. I'd like to
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's really good. I think
That's
there might
beautiful.
be. I think there might be another one too. Oh, Otterman. That's what we missed. Okay,
Yeah.
there it is.
Did you find Otterman then?
I did.
Okay.
Here it is. This is funny.
No.
It's a pickle. A pickle / otter.
It's scary, actually. It's so scary.
Look at the little pickles on the ground.
He's calling them.
Are those pickle poops? I don't.
Oh no, man! He's scary, man. He looks like the Swamp Thing or something. John, thanks for the 5 there. I never got into MySpace or Facebook, but way back in the day, I was on ICQ. Most of you probably don't even know or don't know what that even is. ICQ, wasn't that like a message board type of?
ICQ.
Weren't those like a little like?
If it
like
was a message board, I was on it. I'll tell you that. I was.
I think it was called
into those
ICQ.
things.
I seek you or something like that. You know, I'm not used to seeing it spelled out, but yeah, I don't. I remember like when Facebook blew up. That's really when things got kind of interesting because of the speeds of internet. You know, after all the muds and all these little, you know, smaller chat types, they had been turned into something everyone can use, you know, and then Facebook discs were being sent out to everybody. You get those things in the mail.
If this was a Netscape thing, then I totally did it.
Man, I barely remember MySpace
I loved
anymore.
those chat rooms. I loved them. I was in them all the time in the 90s. Man, I remember hearing the the sound that the modem made and just getting onto those. It's just hilarious getting onto those chat sites.
Well, you know, when computers got faster and everything, that's when things got really interesting. You know, when people could go in, and it may, depending on your internet speed, you know, like when things like Napster popped up and you could get music on the fly. It may take you like 8 hours to get
Right.
a song, but
Yep.
I remember that, man. Writer Chick, what's up? Thanks for the 5. A little something for the groupie cash train and breadsticks. Indeed, man. Shara again created that. It's her. Paula, thanks for the 4 months there. 2 women who have no self-respect. Well, it's definitely, like I said, it's interesting. I do have a lot of questions about, again, function. Like if they're talking about legality and stuff, are they part of that team? I wonder.
I got a lot of questions about it too. Like, where are they part of the legal team? Let's hear it. Yes or no?
Well, they're definitely, you know, these actions that are coming up again. The statements by Bruce about I don't think they realize how bad some of this stuff is. Like going out and digging up stuff on Lloyd. I mean, if they're attached to the client there, they've been involved talking to the lawyer for her, the lawyer that was, he said he got Stark involved to bring that litigation against the Trespass 5. Like I said, then they went after Lloyd, dug up his background and stuff. That gets some really, really questionable stuff. Oh, Wendy, thanks for the 2.
Who did this? Who did this? I want to know right now who did this.
What's you reading? How to Plead the 5.
Damn you, Chad! Stop derailing this show.
God, that's funny.
That was actually sent to me by Wayne. Wayne, thank you very much. Wayne, that was hilarious.
Wendy, thanks for the 2. Please hit the like. Come on, Doug. That's right. If you like this, share it, like it, meme it. And if you want to go further, support it. Breadsticks are appreciated. Thank you. Man, look at this. Sticky Widget. Thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Sticky. Appreciate you there. On top of that, John hit right after that with 10 gifted memberships. So that's 20 off John. Thank you for that too, man. And right after that, K-Rap drops 5 in. So giving all of you love. Again, Sticky Widget, John, K-Rap, all of you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Cutting Linguist, thanks for the 2. Anyone remember Mad Libs? Yes, very much so. Yeah, I do indeed. Oh man, I feel like we're having a time capsule moment. What? Thanks for the 10. Megan, if they come for you or Tug, well, I hate to see all of us going to Florida to handle business. Actually, you know what you do? We mount up and we freaking get some lawyers out there that definitely know how to handle business. You know, they're not clowns. You know, there's some big ones, and you know, it'd be high profile enough that they'd be happy to offer their 10 cents on that. Man, John, again, thank you. An additional 5 gifted memberships too. Thank you, John, dude. So that's what, 25 gifted, man. Awesome, dude. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. John's awesome anyway. I appreciate it. Like his feedback, he also tells me about stuff that I've missed. You know, sometimes there'll be cases and other things. So I appreciate you, John. K-Rap, thanks for 5. Probably not worth suing these channels. Yeah, me, I have no business suing. I don't want to sue anyone in it.
Yeah, there's like, just probably no, they don't have anything. However, again, you only can F around so long before you end up finding out. Eventually, you run into somebody who has fuck you money and doesn't care how long or much money it's going to take and doesn't care if they're going to get anything out of it. And they just want to clear their name. Just offering a friendly piece of advice that these people need to be very careful about what they are saying because They think they feel very empowered to say the crap they're saying about people, and it's if it isn't true, that's called defamation.
Well, they talk about Jeremy, and they say that he's very litigious, right? Okay, so they do that, and yet again, we find out about the ecosystem being built and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
that's not good. You know, they themselves are like, they're sending a mixed message there. But again, Yareb says unlikely they have anything to sue for unless you want an injunction against them having YouTube or X account. I don't want anybody not to have accounts or a voice. None of that stuff.
No, me either. You know? Me either. But again, it's not protected. Free speech does not protect defamation. So people who are engaging in that sort of behavior need to be careful that they aren't doing that, because one day they will find out. One day they'll mess around with somebody who isn't going to take it, like a Jeremy Hales or somebody else. Who knows?
I like that. I like the disrespect people show to, you know, like Southerners and stuff, though. Like, you know, they're covering a story out of Florida, and that's the whole place there. And they're like, y'all bunch of rubes, you know.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Okay. Yeah,
exactly. Calling you Barney Fife. God, like that's supposed to be some kind of insult. I mean, because dang, Mayberry was a great show. That was a great show. And Barney Fife,
not just a great show, man. I mean, you talk about like their problems in that town, man. If we only had just, you know, simple, stupid problems again, you know, where everybody could get along. Chris,
agreed.
Thank you for that membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership. Welcome to Thugs. Thank you, man. Thank you. Welcome to the fiefdom. BK, thanks for the 20.
Welcome to the fiefdom.
I have to start saying that. BK, thanks for the 20, says, come get your seafood. This is free. Come get your seafood. Pensacola, you too. Pensacola's waiting. Pensacola has some white sand. It's actually quartz. That's
it's so beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, by the way, I was told that maybe the Pensacola thing is just for mediation and the trial is still in Gainesville. Okay. That kind of makes me sad. I really wanted to
you're all built up. You're like, yeah. Oh, man, seafood. Good times.
I didn't want to go to Gainesville. Damn, I was all hyped up to go to Pensacola.
Lily, thanks for the 5 there. Is Jeremy getting this info for us? Oh, yeah. You know, he's in the chat and everything. I'm sure he's seeing it all there real time. So, you know.
He was here.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, I don't know. Again, he's not coordinating anything with us. So we don't know, but we saw him in the chat.
He saw him in chat, you know. And I'm sure, like, I figure people send me stuff all day long. And I'm sure he has the same thing. I'm sure people are dropping things all day long. And I don't know. I don't want to be privy to what happens in his case, actually, you know, because.
Right. No, me either. I mean, you know, we find out when we see the filings. I have yet to see a filing before it actually was posted on the docket. So, and I don't want to. I want to just follow it the way we follow stories normally, which is how we're doing it. But also, like, I do want to say that Jeremy's, his channel and his audience, you know, you people out there who support the Hales, you know, good for you. You're some of the most loyal, patient people, and you're all so kind. And it's just nice to have you here.
I've been dedicated to, you know, seeing what happens. And I mean, this has been an insane thing to watch. And it is sad at the end of the day. We can laugh and other things, but at the end of it, you know, again, there are real people involved. And these real people, I mean, they are going to court over this awful stuff. So, John, thank you for those 5 gifted members. Another 5 there. So we have, what's that, 30 now, man? Thank you, brother. Well, thank you, John.
This is from who sent me this? Hold on, let's see.
Oh, he's so pretty.
I have to stop sharing before I can show you who sent me this. Let's see. This was from James. James, thank you so much. This is hilarious, and I like.
That's awesome.
You can do the slow zoom also.
I like his sad eyes. He's like, I've been busted. They know where I'm from. They doxed me. I'm from Mayberry.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Oh, oh my God.
Now wait, he needs a sign that says I plead the fife.
Oh yeah, you know it also. Okay, so there, and so Rhea Ryan was like, well, you know, we Brits have no idea who that guy is. You know, who Barney is.
Oh
No,
yeah,
man.
they don't know who Barney Fife is.
Oh,
Oh
man,
gosh,
that is like
the
that's
Andy
like
Griffith Show.
deep
Okay, so
lore.
if you want to know, I'm sure you can find it on a streaming channel somewhere. Probably on one of those TV streaming channels, like oh, I can see the thing in my head, but I can't see what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, it's called the Andy Griffith Show. And it was an old show that, you know, we all grew up on about Mayberry in the 50s. And it's a darling show. And it definitely is a piece of Americana. And it's so Norman Rockwell about this little small town and the sheriff of the town with his little sheriff's deputy, Barney Fife. And it's always about putting the drunk in the drunk tank and learning a good lesson.
Yeah, it's just life lessons. They teach you, you know, it was very innocent. It's just like Gilligan's Island and other shows like that, you know. But this was even more innocent than those.
And it was even, director Ron Howard's first show he was in as a little boy. He played Opie. He was like 5 or 6 years old.
K-Rap. Thanks for the 5 there. As Rebel Bird keeps reminding people, please hit that like button, by the way. Yes, it is free to smack that like button. Smack it good. There are only 1K with 2.1K watching. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Wanda, thanks for the 5 there. Tug, I heard they said you had come on their show. Wait, I had come on their show? Or I would. I said, oh, hell no. Or I could or would. No. You know, no thanks. You know, if I were going to go on a show, I go on shows with people that, you know, I don't have to agree with people, but yeah, there are lines. It's just like the same with Brew. He crossed lines with me. So fuck him. You know, Angela, thanks for the 2. Unmasking Tug like he's a superhero. Which he is. I know, indeed. It's so strange. I mean, you know, my face has been, these people can't do anything to me. I mean, I've already had that stuff happen. So it's like, what the fuck? But I choose not to put myself on camera. First of all, I like not be on camera. I can do whatever I want over here. But beyond that, you know, I don't have to worry about anything but my words. Like that. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. Megan asked, how cheap is he? His wife said she works 2 jobs, not 2 careers, jobs. He's not working 2 jobs. What's that tune? I don't remember that's 2.
What tune?
No, I said, what is that in regard to? And Megan asked.
Because I said this dude is cheap. He doesn't even pay for FOIAs that he wants.
Yeah.
How cheap is he?
Yeah. Hey, give me 1 second. Can you hold this?
Is that someone knocking at the window? Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Let me see.
It's the squirrel. It's the squirrel. It's Peanut back from the dead. Vanessa, thanks for the 5. More Megan. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. You know what Tug doesn't do when he's going through these super chats and drives me crazy? He doesn't unstar them. And so I never know. I could pick up for him and keep reading, but now I have to like scroll through the whole thing to find. He doesn't unstar them when he's finished. I don't know why he doesn't do that. All right, here we go. Janice Wingfield, thanks for the 10. The haters are wrong. Shara got that nickname years ago by a group I'm in that has followed Shara for years. Jeremy didn't give her that nickname. He just used that name from the other group. Well, wherever it came from, it's funny how the other side is now using it, isn't it?
Not just that, they're mad about it being brought up. Like, oh my God, well, we didn't come up with about what you're using. I thought this person that you all were good to go with. Everybody was good to go with until she had a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly she becomes, you know, all of this negativity. Again, Jeremy didn't have to like her. You know, he saw her as adversarial. You know, he did, and with good reason. I mean, heck, you know, he sees these people aiming, regardless of how she was looking at things or hesitation or anything. Like his perception of it, where people were trying to ruin his life, and he was responding to it. So these people, though, like I said, they were in chats and everything else with. They were on streams with. You know, they were planning to talk about her with interview, but suddenly it all goes out the window because she has issues. That's it's telling. Amanda, thanks for the 2. I am the Amanda that made the comment. So props to you. I like looking at some of the back and forth there. And, you know, when Shara answers, some people have been asking good questions. So.
Oh, was that the one? Was that the comment that I said was just a really good point? I think that was that the one I was reading?
I believe that's the one that's talking about there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good point, Amanda.
Yeah. Props to you. You know, I'm glad when people have good faith conversations, you know, and they're asking things or they're making funny comments, but it you know, it also shows support in people wanting to know about what's going on there. It's good. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. I think it's more credible that she's sharing it publicly instead of funneling everything to JH. She's defending herself. Yes, indeed. But I hope JH uses it all. I mean, if it's you, I mean, if there are things that have been said in there that I very much think would be useful. I do.
Yeah,
and
I
have no
kind of
idea.
agree with this comment too. I think it is, you know, but you know, Shara doesn't need to. I think there are people who don't have a platform and they can't get their information out there. And I think that's one reason why they would share directly with Jeremy, for instance. Shara, on the other hand, doesn't need to do that. She has her own platform and people who are reading her, and she can talk to me and get it out that way, which I think was the smart thing to do. I think that was the right thing to do. Because I agree with you. I think that now that we know, especially that they're accusing her of being like a spy for Jeremy, to my knowledge, she's never had a conversation or contact with him at all. So good luck trying to prove that.
It's just funny because, you know, they called her out publicly and they caused this. So, you know, this didn't have to happen. In fact, she kept her mouth shut for the longest time. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. Oh, yeah, well, my bad. I read that one already, but yes, thank you again. SF, thanks for the 2. Shara has 1,500 subs now. Yes, if you, by the way, that would just be interesting. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, Shara's, if mods would put up a link to that. But yeah, if you would sub to it, it would be fascinating to see it hit like 2K subs.
It would be great.
I love it. Sticky Widget, thanks for the 2. Okay, got a bell. See you next time, thugs. See you, man. Appreciate you. Patrick, thanks for the 5. This is not just a Bad Neighbors episode. This is a Bad Neighbors movie with a 3-movie trilogy.
Awesome. Yes, Patrick.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God. On this episode of Mayberry. It's like if you mix Mayberry and Cops, you know.
And everyone's in a wife beater or half naked, rolling around on the ground, getting handcuffed. Yeah,
spitting chaw, you know. You know. Mama, get my skull. You'd be like, what?
Yeah, the Copenhagen runs free.
Oh Lord. Linda, thanks for the 5. Drop it like it's hot, Shara. We are proud of you for telling the truth. Indeed. 100%. Again, showing her support. That is the way to go. The man, thanks for the 8 months. When Megan goes from yeah, exactly. When you yeah, it's good.
Yeah, my dad does that, and when he goes from ha to he, you know it's funny. I guess I've picked that up.
Vanessa, thanks for the 5 there. Megan, I sent Dead Punk. He'll probably.
Robot. He turned into a robot there.
All right, am I back now?
Yes, you're back now.
Yeah, so Dead Punk got the message, and he'll start tomorrow or the end of the week. So
excellent.
he'll make wood on it. That'll be great. Rogue Mom, thanks for the two. I've been laughing about Tug Fife for hours.
Yeah, I looked at my messages and she sent me a message like hours ago saying they're calling him Barney Fife. They're calling Tug
That's
Barney
funny.
Fife. And I missed it. So we've been, the whole chat's been in on the joke that we didn't get for hours.
I didn't get it at all. It just rolled right past me. You know, that tells you, that actually tells you too. You know, when I say like I don't watch the channel, obviously, you know, Ty Stick thinks to re-record the intro song in Barney Fife's voice. I wonder if they actually have that. Oh, you know, they have the AI ones.
Oh yeah, I bet they could.
Oh, K-Rab, thanks for the two. I'll buy a t-shirt. Months has the haters. Indeed. Indeed. That's the way to do it, you know? That would make Megan Aunt M instead of Aunt B.
Aunt M.
Auntie B.
Oh, it's funny.
Kelly Linguist, thanks for the two. Put you in the Fifing hat rack. That's right. Get that hat rack. Mother Fifer.
Oh, Mother Fifer.
Well, Wheezy Wheels, thanks for the 3 months there. Just sent a message of support to Shara. I swear to tell the Fife, the whole Fife, and nothing but the Fife. I like this one too. Dusty said, "This is how I die."
That was me like a half hour ago.
It was a good life. Wayne, thanks for the 5. Never has there been such chaos, legal craziness, and downright nutso streams, all because 2 couples became neighbors. That's true. That is actually very true. Edgy, thanks for the 2. The 5. Oh my God, man. Let me see. These things for the 10. It's getting fifed in here. I bought this on Fifer.
Website www.fifer.com.
Fifer. Yeah. Wendy, thanks for the 2. This is why I wear a Fifing diaper. Allie, thanks for the 2. You should stay for at least 5 hours. Oh my God. Thanks for the 2. Elo got her sonogram on Fifer. Somebody else put that in there. That's good. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Vanessa, thanks for 5. Dead Punk is in chat now. I'm sure.
We sent out the Dead Punk signal.
The Dead Punk signal, like Batman. You gotta call him. Wendy, thanks for the 5. Glad I have my 5 independence on. Weezy Wheels, thanks for 2. Thank you for making me smile at a tough time. Hey, Weezy, we appreciate you. And thank you. That's what we need. These are for.
Yeah,
we
need
fun.
That. We
That's
needed
exactly
this
what it's
ridiculous.
for.
I'm still massaging my jaw, by the way. It's not going to be good tomorrow. I'm going to be in so much pain.
Legal Vices, thanks for the squiggles. I have to super Megan to look at her DMs.
Wait, which one? My WhatsApp or the? I already. Oh my God, he sent me 18 messages. Jesus, Jeff.
He's like, come on now. I gotta send, and then I have to wait like how long? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Susan Dolan.
Oh God, Jeff, you're funny.
Thanks for the 2. School bullies. Or you don't take stuff why you don't take stuff to school. Yeah, you know, I mean, here's the thing. Back in the day though, we would have like show and tell and things like that. You know, you'd be excited about stuff and then some jackass would have to ruin your life, you know, for it. Oh, that's awful. Death Angel, thanks for the 2. Love the Smurfs, indeed. Oh man, I used to watch all the Smurf. Gargamel busted up. Smurfs. His cat, Azrael. Love it. You know,
there's something weird though about only one female Smurf living with all those dudes. Like, why didn't she have any sisters? Like
Well, because she was made. Remember, Gargamel made her.
that's weird. Why
Yeah,
didn't
yeah. Because there was
more?
no female, and then Gargamel made her. They were like, "Whoa, a baby!" Oh, they were like, "All right." Rebel Bird, thanks for the 20 for the swear jar. I cussed in chat tonight. Sorry. Profanity is okay. If people are fighting, it's one thing, but profanity from you mods, who cares? I can't look at me. I can't help myself. Vanessa, thank you, Rebel Bird, too. I appreciate you. Vanessa, thanks for the 10. Tug, along with my buddy, our own Mary. Aldana, is that reminder? Oh yeah, kid sister. Yeah, I remember that. Wherever I go, she goes. I remember that. Oh, I totally forgot about kid sister. And Troy, thanks for the 2. Yippee-ki-yay, mother fifers. You're freak. Oh my gosh. Now hear Bruce Willis busting that up. Oh my god. I'm gonna die tonight.
I know. Can I drop can I put a file, like a picture file, in the private chat? Can I do that?
You put a link in there. They're gonna be a
darn, it's a link. Okay. I'll figure it out some other way.
All right. Sinbad, thanks for the 2. Barney didn't have Tug's doorbell though. That's indeed my doorbell reloads. That's right. I've said that many times. That's true. He wasn't allowed to. He had a sidearm, but he didn't get to carry bullets. Remember. Janice, thanks for the 10. Megan and Tug were slow on
the up 5.
The Rise, thanks to the tail, married a grumpy Smurf.
That's funny.
Let's see. Here's the ones you marked by. Anyway, I'm having the time of my 5.
Now I had the time of my 5.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a 5. We got a 5 for our right to party. I'll be back in 5. Oh my god, this 5 thing is so 5 and funny. You brought a 5 to a gun fight. It's the 5 life in here. That's right. Living the 5 life. Oh, yeah, continue tomorrow. we on a 5 Megan.
Before we on a 5
on
Megan.
A 5-er. Oh, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh my god. I've had the time of my 5. You gotta fight for the right 5 liberty in the pursuit of turtles. Send the chat to timeout in 5 minutes. It's a hard knock 5 for us.
For us, it's a hard knock 5.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Stop, we're all 5. It's a hard tug 5 for me.
It's a hard tug 5 for us.
Hey, quit 5ing around. Oh my god. And Lindsay is all that thing, but thank you for the 2 there. Chud 101 from Jet, Megan, and Tug only 5.
Oh, Sinbad, I see you. I see you in the chat. Sinbad says I'm dead. Oh god, it's so funny.
All right.
I just had my jaw all relaxed, and now it got me all worked up again. Dang it.
Oh my god. Tonight has been crazy. It's been funny.
It has been funny.
All right. I think I'm gonna call it here. I think we've had a good live stream. This has been a funny one. We will continue going through some Shara stuff, it looks like. Hopefully Shara, she's not been disappointing for days now. I'm sure, like, at this rate, maybe there will be more. Who knows? But right now, I mean, there's an ocean of stuff still there, and I'm really curious about the bombshells that continue to drop. So we're going to do that. Yep, that'll be all right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave it. You got anything you want to add? Otherwise, I'm done.
Just kill the stream before I start laughing.
I'm gonna die here. I mean, thank you, chat.